Warning. You are entering Open Lines Friday. For today anything goes. Thank you for your cooperation.
All right, this is King Bucho. Welcome to BDA Boxing, the boxing debate arena. It's Friday, so that means it's open on Friday. Anything goes. Anybody can join. The link is in the description of this video, and I will be posting the link in the chat as well. So you can join me on Discord. I'm already there, and I hope it's working. But yeah, let's talk boxing. We have some fights coming up this weekend. We have on ESPN pay-per-view. I think outside the US, you get this pay-per-view on DAZN. KSI versus Tommy Fury, 6 rounds. Then you have Logan Paul versus Dylan Dennis, 6 rounds. I was watching the press conference, the weigh-in. You guys should watch it. It was funny as fuck, man. Like, they put them for the face-off. They put these guys in a cage, basically, and there's like a plexiglass. Start kicking it and put they look like fucking animals. It was fucking funny. We also have on ESPN Plus Janibek Aimiku. I can never pronounce his name. Everybody's talking about this guy, how good he is. He's fighting Vincenzo Gualtieri. WBO middleweight and IBF middleweight titles. When I saw that, I was like, what the fuck? Is that true? There's 2 belts on the line here? Interesting. Keyshawn Davis is also in that undercard, so interesting. And Richard Torres, he's also going to be fighting on ESPN Plus on that card. And on October the 14th as well, yeah. Team Tszyu versus Brian Mendoza. That's an interesting fight, very good fight. It's a good test for Team Tszyu. 12 rounds for the WBO junior middleweight title that was vacated, I would say, by Jermell Charlo. So we have some very interesting fights. We can talk about that and anything else you guys want. So please join. I'm already here on Discord. Let me post the link in the chat again. So what do you guys want to talk about first? Logan Paul versus Dennis. His fire, says Sergeant. Yeah, that seems to be like a real feud. Like they really hate each other. I don't know what the whole deal is, guys. If you know what what the story is behind this fight, let me know. Because I don't really follow that shit. David Parker in the chat says, I just heard we got Matias versus Ergashev on November 25th. Let me check that. We started to get some good fights lately, so hopefully we managed to end the year on a good note. I've been hearing about Fury versus Usyk for December. I'm crossing my fingers on that. For that. Some random says it's it's one of the wildest buildups to any type of fight I have ever seen. I was thinking, should we start putting the boxers in cages when they do the face-offs, or is that too trashy? Because because I've always complained about how the UFC at some point it was very trashy, like in the 2007, 2008 era, and I always complained about that. So I don't know, should boxing become like that? We already have David Diamante, the announcer, who, in my opinion, sounds very similar to Bruce Buffer, and I find that pretty annoying because when he announces, all he does is yell and scream. Basically, he's like, "In the corner, are you?" Fuck, man, why don't you put a little bit more class into the delivery, like Michael Buffer? That's what or Jimmy Lennon Jr. This is what I think boxing, or what it differentiates boxing from these other combat sports: the classiness. You wear a suit. You dress well when you go to one of those events, if you're sitting on the front seats, and of course the delivery of the announcers has to be like civilized. You can't just fucking yell. Hey, who's here? I heard a voice. Oh, okay. BDA says he can't hear me on Discord. That's weird. Oh, I see. Now you can hear me, BDA. But anyways, yeah, I don't know what you guys think about that, about the announcing. Because, Michael Buffer won't be there forever. And if Diamante is going to be replacing him, he needs to come up with a different delivery, different saying, or whatever you call it. He doesn't have a bad voice. It's just that, are you ready? I said, can you hear me? I said, like, fuck. It's fucking annoying. All right. So the link, BDA, can you hear me?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
All right. So yeah, I was just talking about the announcer now that we have in boxing, the Diamante. I think he's going to be the new, from here going forward, he's going to be the main guy announcing. And he needs to switch it up a little bit here. He sounds like Bruce Buffer.
I'm a little ambivalent about the announcers and the direction boxing is going, because, like you said, you saw a tale of two events this past week. We had the hijinks occurring in that Jake Paul card that you talked about, Logan Paul, excuse me. And like you said, it was a circus. And you look at the crowd too, by the way, it's all a bunch of Zoomers and a lot of Indians too, by the way. I was surprised. I don't know why there's a lot of Indians there. But anyway, maybe it's a Silicon Valley thing. I don't know, or internet thing. But and then you see the opposite with Andrade and Benavidez. Just a completely pap event. It was boring. It was stale. And again, it's you sort of don't want to see fake antics occurring. But at the same time, it's why hold a press conference if nothing of importance is going on? I mean, not for nothing, but I think people subconsciously look at a tame press conference and they wonder, is the fight going to be that way? I don't know. I think that's because maybe that's the way I interpret it too, at a subconscious level. But be that as it may, by the way, David Benavidez, I rewatched the press conference. I am obsessed with his press conference. Why his behavior? Eyes wide open, assaulting David Benavidez, grabbing him, essentially accosting him, and then chirping like a bird. Yeah, I'm back. What are you doing, man? But so I don't know. What do you think, Bucho? Is if there's no bad blood and there's no animosity, should these guys still, just essentially play it up, or what do you think?
I don't know, because we can tell when it's fake. So if there's no real feud between them or anything, like, they shouldn't even try. But I kind of understand that a lot of people don't want to see this fight, especially when it's a pay-per-view. So I'm thinking, what can you do in this situation? Like, I don't know.
That's why I was saying. It's why hold a press conference. That's what I was saying.
I don't think they can fake it, like I said.
That's what I was saying.
You know what they try to play? They try to play it. They try to play this angle where both guys are boogeymans. Nobody wants to fight them because they're so good,
right?
And they decided to fight each other. So, like, put your hands together and clap. wow, these guys are great. These guys are true warriors. They are not scared of anybody, and they're fighting each other. That's basically the message that they were trying to convey. But we all know that, they're not boogeymans, especially not Andrade for sure. So,
Boogeyman, yeah.
Boogeyman.
Yeah, and that's the thing, though. It's
Boogie Woman.
They try to make it. I think they actually said this is a mega fight that the fans have been waiting for. So, I mean, again, I got to reiterate: the Pro Box guy, Gonzalo sent me an interview with that guy, and he was talking about the customer and what's best for the customer. You don't hear that from the PBC. In fact, whenever they do address the consumer, the customer, they make it seem like they're doing you a favor. It's like, this is a great fight on pay-per-view. Get your tickets. Buy the pay-per-views. Well, why you think we believe you just because you say it's a great fight? First of all, casuals don't give a shit, and hardcore boxing fans know it's not a great fight. I'm a boxing degenerate, so for me, like I said yesterday on the show, I'm intrigued by the matchup. But don't try to tell people that this is a mega fight and that they have to buy it and that if they don't buy it, they're bums. Because you're just alienating what little market there is left.
Exactly. Well, they have to try. It's a pay-per-view on top of that. Chile Relleno says with a super chat, thank you for that. Andrade was, and will always be cringe as fuck. Well, guess what? This might be the last time you see the guy. So, that's good, though. That's good. Oh, you never know.
Hey, that might be worth the pay-per-view price, right?
What if there's an upset? What did you say?
Well, that might be worth the pay-per-view price. Hey, it's the last time you'll ever see Andrade.
Maybe. We'll see. We have Lord Blue. Welcome to the show.
Yeah, I'm in here. What's up, BDA?
What's up?
How y'all doing, man? What the conversation is today?
Anything you want. What do you want to talk about?
Palestine, Israel.
It's a lot to talk about, man. A whole lot, for real. Cause I ain't called up here in a while, for real now. So let me think. Yesterday we was talking about Tank Davis and all of that. So yeah. I don't even want to go back to that who's the face of boxing thing. It's just a no-brainer right there. So I definitely don't want to go. I don't even want to touch that topic.
Who's gonna be the face of boxing after Canelo?
Terrence Crawford.
I was thinking about that, but the guy's 36 years old. I mean, he might be the face of boxing for like how long?
He gonna be the face of boxing for like a split second, for like real quick, because he won't retire. But I feel like he gonna wash Canelo, yo.
You think so?
If he fight Canelo, I really feel like he gonna do that to Canelo. Like I really feel like he gonna put hands and feet on Canelo.
I don't know. I read somebody posted something on Discord here, saying that Spence and Crawford should rematch at 168, and the winner gets Canelo. Well, I don't know.
Now that's funny. That's funny business right there. Both of them take the rematch at 168.
Or 160 at least. What? Why not?
168 is a stretch, but 160, damn.
Well, you're saying that Spence, that Crawford beats Canelo. At which division do you think that fight? At what weight would that take place?
They should do it at Canelo weight.
So it's the same thing.
What was that? 168.
Okay, so
Canelo fight at 168.
55.
165.
Canelo? No,
I feel like Crawford can do that. I feel like Crawford can do that, yo. So with these boxers and their trainers, their teams and all that,
Go ahead.
I feel like if he put on the 20 pounds correctly, he shouldn't have no issues. When people start talking about, yo, just jumping up 20 pounds, I heard one dude on one podcast say, yo, just strap 5 pounds to your left, 5 pounds to your right, and 5 pounds to your bottom and left, right, like on your legs, and then walk around like that for like 3 weeks. I heard somebody say that thing on like the boxing voice or something.
Okay, well, that's crazy. But don't you think Crawford should at least move up gradually?
Of course.
Yes. Yeah.
All right. That's always smartest. That's always smartest for him to at least take like a like you said, an acclimation fight just to see where he at with the weight and all of that. That makes sense. But on this daring to be great thing, I still feel like Crawford can jump up and make it happen. On the strength, I'm looking more so at his attitude and his determination versus anything else. If he's saying that he want to be third time undisputed and all, I have no choice right now but to believe in that man for hunting down this fight with Spence all of this time. I don't really feel like Crawford would go in there for a payday. It's nothing about him that make you think that he's just going in there.
You gotta think about something real quick. One, he's never been in a really, really hard fight for more than 4 or 5 rounds. He's never fought a lineal world champion. He's never fought a Hall of Famer. He's never fought anyone on Canelo's level. What if Canelo takes him, by round 2 or 3 into that water? What's he gonna do? You don't know what he's gonna do because you've never seen him fight.
The wild thing about that, right? I give you credit for that, but the wild thing about that is he got that same criticism when it came to Spence. Like, you never been in a fight. You never did this. You never did that.
Spence isn't a Hall of Famer.
Is the motivation.
Yeah, Spence isn't a Hall of Famer. He's a drunk.
With no problem, though. I mean, like,
boys in nightclubs. He's a liquid heroin addict. Like, bro, Spence isn't all that.
Hey, the fact that Spencer's on the pound for pound is stupid.
Hey, the one thing I think...
Virgil Ortiz would have smoked Errol Spence. Virgil Ortiz would have fucking destroyed Errol Spence, barring health
100%. 100%.
I ain't gonna lie. Yeah. I said the same thing. So let me ask y'all this. This is a quick question. I asked this to my homeboy. He was debating me that if Errol Spence, let's just say Terrence Crawford didn't take the rematch, and there's no rematch, Terrence Crawford move on about his business and go on about his life, and then Errol Spence has to fight Tszyu. Who do you think would win?
Tszyu destroys him. Not even competitive fight. He gets fucked up.
That's all I need.
We don't know what Tszyu has yet. We don't know what Tszyu has yet.
Has no chance versus Tszyu right now. Not a demolished Errol Spence that just went through what he just went through. Like, absolutely not, yo. Tszyu gonna walk straight through that.
Retire at this point.
We need to see Crawford. We need to see
at the elite level. His last knockout victory was against fucking Ugas, who almost got destroyed by fucking Little Barrios. What do you think Tszyu would do to that fucking dude? Tszyu and Brian Mendoza both smash Errol Spence. He doesn't have enough power to keep them honest. That's just the reality of it. He doesn't. He couldn't even put a dent in Terrence Crawford. And Tszyu.
We got to see more work from Crawford because, like, as much as I loved seeing him mow down Spence because I didn't like what they did to him, I thought they ducked him. I do think that Spence was really shot. I mean, he looked terrible. So, I mean, I think Crawford would have beat him either way. I think he would. Listen. I think he would have beat him either way. Even if he wasn't before he was damaged. But I want to see him fight. Okay, let's see him fight somebody who didn't look like complete dog shit, even when they were walking in the ring.
Right.
Like you could tell there was something wrong with this dude.
Well,
you know what I mean? And it was his bad habits.
Which fight do you want to see? Who do you want to see Crawford fight? In order, to see.
I want to see him. I want to see him take some fights at 154. Let him take some fights at 154. See how the power looks. See how the reflexes look. See how he carries the weight.
Yeah.
Then maybe Tszyu, he's gonna have some clout because Jermel's gonna take a long time to rebound from him shit in the bed.
About the weight real quick. When it comes to putting on 20 fucking pounds, even on rocket fuel and shit like that. Fucking God, my mom's in here. Hold on, give me a second. Even when you put on 20 fucking pounds and shit, it takes so fucking long to do that. At Crawford's age, it would probably take 3 years to put on healthy, applicable muscle, and even then, you don't know how it's going to affect his speed, his reflex.
Every fighter has a cap.
Overnight.
Every fighter has to carry the weight. What weight they're effective at. Everybody has a cap of what weight they're effective at. I think, even with Triple G, he was the most effective at 160. We saw him at 168, and he lost just a little bit of a step, and that's all it took for that was the big difference. So I don't think that Crawford, especially Crawford's 36 years old, he's old, so he doesn't have a lot of time. I don't think if they're gonna make the fight, they're gonna try to rush it, but I just don't think I think the Spence fight was a little bit of a mirage, man. I mean, I love the fact that he beat beat Spence down. Like I can't stand the PBC fanboys and what Spence did to him, but Spence was shot, man. He looked terrible. We gotta see him in there with guys that are like a little bit more primed and ready at a higher weight at 154. I mean, let's go one weight class at a time versus going to 168.
I want to see how
Can I just ask the chat one question real quick? I just need everybody to shout out to the world, yo, and debunk this real quick, yo. Everything that I keep getting sent by my homeboy, he one of them LDBC, wow, just love them PBC. I don't know if he love the PBC or what's going on, but he keeps saying, sending me clips of some clown, some YouTuber clown that keeps trying to say that Clarence Crawford had altered his gloves or had some fake gloves or something. I just need y'all to debunk this for me real fast. Yo. Somebody just debunk this for me, yo.
There's always going to be that. There's always going to be that. Everybody, there's always going to be that. I'm going to give you some insight.
Think about that logically.
Let me give you some insider info, guys. Let me give you some insider info, and this is no bullshit. And you guys don't have to believe me, but I'm telling you. Let me tell you this. I know I'm in Texas, right? I'm pretty. I know people. I was pretty close, even covering the sport for the Boxing Voice for a while. So I know guys. I hope guys that grew up in the amateurs with Spence. Even since the amateurs, during tournaments, Spence would sneak out and go drinking. He would go to the clubs in the amateurs. You guys do not have to believe me. But I'm just telling you, take it or leave it. Like this is what I got for info. So just imagine how he was once he got that money and the millions of dollars and the girls. And,
but maybe he got older, he got wiser. Maybe he got, you know what I mean? Who
His
knows?
outside choices of the ring led to his downfall.
By the way,
I told my man this 1,000 times, but the guy that he keeps sending, this YouTuber he keeps sending me, I don't know who he is or where he come from, but he done called Everlast. He tried to debunk the Everlast. He just spin the whole conversation in a bunch of circles.
He's full of shit, man.
You don't never know where he going.
That's a conspiracy. That's like the Fury tampered with his gloves, the floppy glove theory. It's ridiculous. It's just a cope mechanism.
Yeah,
let me just quickly read the super chat from High and Low Sportstrom. He says, BDA, the home of boxing. Thank you for that super chat, man. Really appreciate it.
All right. Simply put, listen to me. If he was tampered with, you would sue the commission.
Flat out. Thank you.
There you go. All right, that's all you have to tell them. You don't have to go through all the bullshit.
I keep telling them the committee would have something to do with that. Like the committee would come down on them about the gloves. I'm almost for certain, bro, that Earl Spence and his team get to check Terrence Crawford gloves. Am I correct or wrong? Like
you're correct, and you got to put this in perspective too. That Spence was the money guy. He was the PBC guy, the home field guy. That was the guy they wanted to win. So do you think they're gonna let anything slide on the side? Hell no, man. They inspected the shit out of those gloves. The Spence camp looks at all the gloves. There's backup pairs, and they look at them before the day before, so they know exactly, and they see him getting gloved up. I'm like, it's just there's no way. If there was any
sign off on them. They sign off on the wrap. They sign off on the gloves, around the tape on the gloves. So how in the fuck could that happen inside of their actual supervision?
If there's any shenanigans, it would have been on Spence's side because he had the politics behind him. I mean, you guys got to realize, man, like these guys' hands are not normal. These dudes can open up the gloves like nothing. Where it's a little stiff for like a regular person. These dudes have killer grips, man. I mean, I've seen fighters the way they could just open them up.
That's what they keep trying to say, like the glove not supposed to close all the way or open up. Something weird.
You're using though, dude. Horsehair gloves will open up the whole way. They're not that stiff. They're really light. There's not a lot of padding in them. So horsehair gloves won't open up all the way like that. You see it over and over again. Watch George Foreman fight. Look at how floppy those gloves were.
And the guy is trying to say, look how silly it is. The guy is saying that these Crawford gloves that he wore during the Spence fight that night was supposed to have been grappling gloves. They weren't boxing; they was grappling gloves. He was fighting with grappling gloves.
They sure not like boxing gloves to me.
That's what they look like to me too. Y'all
they did studies on the glove, guys. They did studies on the gloves with the UFC glove versus the boxing glove, and they proved it that for a fact that the boxing glove produces more force than an MMA glove. And if you really look at them, they have the same amount of padding in front of the knuckle. They just look a lot bigger because the thumb is covered and the back of the hand is covered. But it really doesn't. It has just as much padding, and the boxing produces more force than an MMA glove.
Trust me, it doesn't have anywhere near the amount of padding. And you can't, in MMA gloves, you can't wrap your wrists up the same because you won't be able to get your hand inside the glove either. So, but the reason why you can punch harder with the boxing gloves is because you are taped up more. There's more reckless abandonment with it. You don't really think about throwing.
It has to do with the mass of it, the mass of the glove. That's what the study showed. They had it on the TV show. You remember when they did the fight sciences and they showed who punched and who kicked harder, and it had to do with the mass of the glove.
But I'll just say this: what people don't understand is, proper boxing punching technique won't translate to MMA. That's how you break your fucking knuckles, your hands, and all that shit. Because the way you punch with gloves and shit, like Quags was saying, it really is reckless abandon. You can't get away with that shit with those tiny gloves. That's why, regardless of whatever the force is, you can still. It's probably about the same because you can't punch all out with 4-ounce gloves usually. Or
the technique is just way off with MMA people, but I don't know, man. It's just
for the way they use their glove. For the glove
it has to be way off, though. They can't even stand correctly because they'll get their legs kicked out. So they can't throw punches the same way. Like the whole thing's like it's not a good comparison because they can't even use the same balance boxers use. So they'll get their knees kicked out.
I'm just happy y'all here to debunk this shit because these dudes that keep sending me this shit, they must have lost a lot of money on this Spence fight or something, and they just sold it.
It's a bogus claim.
Yeah, that's what I'm saying. The claim just so I was like, yo, who else is saying this shit? Like, you can only find YouTubers. I'm like, why you can't find like somebody from the boxing world to say, yo, Crawford cheated, yo, this way. You feel me? Like, yo, you can't send me a clip of nobody with no real evidence.
Well, the fight being as big as it was, you think that you're gonna let Crawford cheat? Like,
well,
like why? Like,
Lord, I've
why would Crawford have to cheat a guy?
I want people to debunk. I want people to debunk this idea that Crawford can move up 2 weight divisions and beat Canelo.
Absolutely not.
Okay.
I think Crawford has more skills. I think Crawford is a way better fighter.
Charlo. That's for damn sure. And for two, the only reason why I give Terrence Crawford this benefit of the doubt of moving up and Dan to be great and beating Canelo is because of the accuracy, bro. And then
how is he going to win? How is he going to win?
He can't move his head. Errol Spence can't move his fucking head, man.
Yeah, he gets hit.
Honestly, in terms of his offensive skills, he regressed in fighting fucking Kell Brook, Lamont Peterson, Chris Algieri. That was his peak. Ever since he fought Mikey Garcia, this dude's regressed in his performances. If you watch carefully.
And anybody,
guys, I think it all depends. It all depends on how he looks at least a fight at 154. Because I do believe Crawford I think Crawford is levels above Canelo when it comes to skill. Levels above Canelo, but
I think he has to go up. He needs 2 fights. He needs 2 fights.
Yeah, I mean, like I said, I think the caller is like I could kind of see why you say that because I think he has way more skill, but. We got to see how he looks at least at 154.
Let me ask y'all this: what weight do y'all think he walk around at? Because he never disclosed that. They asked him during the interview, and he refused to answer. He was like, "No, I'm not even."
He walks around 170.
Yeah, I'm thinking 172, 173.
Hey, by the way, I want to introduce this guy. I don't know what his name is. I think it's Dislike. I don't know. Yo, are you there? The guy who's calling out Chief.
Well, yeah.
What's up? So what's happening with you and Chief? I know you guys were going at it on Discord, but what's happening?
Nah, he's just been talking shit like another server that I know him in. He's just been talking shit like the past, I don't know, week. He's like 54 years old. So Discord, has no life, no kids, no wife. He has nothing going for himself. He's a pretty long.
What are you talking about? He has a kid.
I know.
All those, man. What are you talking about?
Those are his kids. Those are his nieces and nephews. Whatever.
Are they goldfish?
Yeah.
All right.
He's like,
I don't know what's going on.
diabetes,
but,
Yeah, let's talk boxing, dude. Listen, we get it. Fucking Floyd Mayweather's a fucking, just a hype job, and that's all he was. Manufactured career. You're a fan of him, so your opinions don't really matter. But like, let's keep it boxing. Say something. Bring something to the table instead of making up lies about people. Just bring something to the table.
I didn't make up no lie. Bring up the table. I am the table.
Is Floyd the best of all time?
The best of all time.
Man, Floyd was the best thing to happen to the UFC and the worst thing to happen to boxing. Man, we're still trying to recover. It's like a it's like a Great Depression. It's like a recession. It's like what's going on in the economy, man. We're trying to recover because he polluted all these young fighters' minds. They're thinking you got to protect you got to ask for all this money. You got to everybody wants to be money. If you look at it, Floyd is like the equivalent of what Trump is to politics. He people listened to his crazy rhetoric and ran with it. I'm not political at all. I'm just saying
I know what you mean.
Grip he has on people.
But think about this with Floyd too. We're never going to see another Floyd Mayweather again. Not in terms of skill, because there's way many fighters better than him. But in terms of, he's always fighting in Las Vegas. He's a black and white fighter. There's a lot of money behind him. People paid to see him lose.
No, wait, hold on. Okay. Let's be objective. Was there anything good that came out of the Floyd Mayweather era? There has to be something. Right?
No, zero.
Nothing.
Nothing.
Zero.
The UFC, Dana White. Do you know how many casual fans just quit on boxing after Mayweather-Pacquiao? Exactly. They just said, "Fuck this." He was the best thing for the UFC ever. You know what I mean? The stars aligned. He got everybody at the right time. He was in that last era of HBO crossover stars. You had Pacquiao. You know who the blueprint was for Mayweather was Bob Arum.
He had Pacquiao, dude.
No, he had Pacquiao. He had De La Hoya. He had Cotto. He had Hatton. He had Gatti. I mean, name a fighter today that can get names like that to build off of. It doesn't exist. The stars aligned. He got everybody at the right ages, the right weights. Marquez. I mean, if it's just look at what a prime Maidana. He was a barbarian, a guy with flat feet, but he wasn't weight drained. He wasn't old. He was in prime. And look what happened. He gave Floyd hell. Everybody else, there was an asterisk.
Yeah, dude. Tito Trinidad, prime Oscar De La Hoya, prime Shane Mosley, Roberto Duran, Hearns, Leonard. They all smoked that bum. Like they all beat the shit out of that fucking kid. He's
like, could you imagine the Mosley that beat De La Hoya? The Mosley that beat De La Hoya. Could you imagine that Mosley fighting?
And the De La Hoya that beat Mosley in the rematch but got robbed would have beaten Floyd Mayweather too. Both of them guys would have beat Floyd Mayweather. What's his name? Floyd Mayweather sat at the weight for 2 years instead of making a super fight with Shane Mosley when he was a head cracker because he was in the fuck out. He was scared.
He told Mosley to his face. He's like, "I'll never fight you," and Mosley even called him out on it. But you know what? Yeah, but you know what? His timing was on his side. Like he got guys. He was still like at his best when guys were off of it. So it's just the stars align. I'm telling you, there's never going to be another Floyd.
30. If you look at when he retired right after beating Hatton and shit, his fucking career is garbage, dude. Like it's so fucking trash.
And what's funny is that everybody's starting to try to hype up his new protege.
Nobody can.
And I'm like, how are you guys excited about this kid? Which I like him. I hope he's a good talent. But how do you get excited about him when his main protege Tank is rounding 30 and still hasn't fought a champion? So how can we get excited about this 19-year-old kid when Tank is 30 and still won't fight nobody? He's gonna rematch people.
Oh my God!
Canelo has no success at the international level in terms of amateur fights. Like, yeah, he has had some good national championships, and in the United States, he's a pretty highly touted amateur. But around the world, nobody knows who the fuck this kid is, man. Nobody's fought.
Well, guys, let me just say something here. We have a comment from Bentley Sports. Bentley Sports is saying that someone go ask Canelo how easy that Floyd fight was. He says. Someone go ask Canelo how easy.
And put on a rehydration clause and weight drain. Like, I don't understand why people gag on Floyd for that. Like, the dude took HGH. I mean, he's got human growth.
Yeah, but look at Floyd's career and look at Canelo's. Look at the difference.
Yeah, dude, he beat a fucking 23-year-old Canelo whose best win was maybe Austin Trout. Dude, Canelo's resume was garbage truck juice at that point because he was so young. And He was 152 pounds. He was a shell of himself at the weight, and that wasn't even him nowhere near his best. Man, dude, Canelo went life and death with Gennady Golovkin in the second fight. Whoever you had winning, it's irrelevant. Triple G is a consensus, top 6, 7 middleweight ever. Floyd Mayweather's never beaten a top 6 fighter ever in a particular weight class. Never.
I mean, never. Floyd was smart to get him. Floyd was smart to get him when he got him, and Oscar was an idiot to let him sign to fight Floyd when he did with the weight clauses and the rehydration shit, just the way he did with Ryan Garcia. That's why he was in rehab when he fought Mayweather. Man, it's just like I said, the stars align for Floyd, man. Nobody misses his boring ass fights, man.
Exactly.
Like he was entertaining up until the first bell. You know what I mean? Like, it's just that it is what it is, but it's tribalism that kicks in. People got to ride on code and just lie to themselves saying he was exciting. He wasn't. I'm sorry. The best thing to happen to UFC, but we're still recovering. Like I said, Devin Haney's trying to act like him. Shakur's trying to act like him. You got all these guys trying to
tell. You're exactly right, Southpaw. The thing is, I guarantee you, Haney Prograis does less than 100,000 pay-per-view buys. Nobody's going to watch that.
After Canelo, there's going to be a reset. We're lowering the bar. If we say Tank Davis is the new face of boxing, then we definitely lowered the bar.
Yeah, it's over.
We lowered the bar.
I second that shit all the way. Fuck, we lowered the bar.
And now we're getting Davis versus Isak Cruz rematch. That rematch will do less than 300,000 or 400, less at most 350,000 pay-per-view buys.
But we need a reset, guys. I think we need a reset. We need the reset because, and not only PBC fighters. There's fighters from all the promotions. They all want defense, and it's funny because people always ride for the fighters and say how evil the promoters are. Man, I've been a part of local promotions, and I'm telling you, man, if you project that to the big league. Man, fighters will be the first ones to steal from you. They'll be the first ones to fucking rob you of some money. The first ones to run away, and after you've invested money. I always tell people, man, invest your money into launching a career and selling tickets. And man, do you know how much work and energy there is to put on an event? You gotta drop money just to get a venue. You gotta drop a lot of money. You gotta pay for the.
There's risk. There's risk involved.
My question is if
insurances, all kinds of shit.
Saw what Floyd did to boxing, why are they trying to replicate his style? Doesn't make sense.
Because they're trying to make another Black American villain. It's not going to happen.
He robbed the bank.
I think that
played the system.
That has been going away. That it stopped basically. This guy, remember Adrian Broner? He tried to mimic Floyd. There were other boxers. Tevin Farmer. What was it? Tevin. What was his name again? Tevin Farmer.
Yeah, I like Broner, man. I like Broner.
I mean, he was funny, but he wasn't Floyd. Defensively speaking, he was trying to do that shoulder roll. He failed.
Yeah, definitely. But you know what? Broner was smart because he knew he didn't have the skill. He wasn't on that level. So what did he do? He became a WWE character, and that kept him relevant. Man, he got the Pacquiao fight. How many paydays did he get after losing? I mean, he stayed relevant. He made a lot of money, even though he blew it.
That's true.
For his skill level, his character worked for him. You know what I mean? So
that's true.
But I mean, I ain't gonna lie, man. I'd love the party with him, man. You imagine going to the club with Broner, man?
I would. Probably you get arrested or something at some point.
Can y'all debunk one more story for me since you brought Pacquiao up?
Yeah. Sure.
Did Pacquiao clout chase Floyd Mayweather?
No.
Thank you.
They were both very popular. I don't think you can say that this guy.
I swear to God that Pacquiao just jumped in the ring and fought people, and then Mayweather came along, and the fans asked for that fight. You feel me? I keep telling my man, the fans asked for that Mayweather-Pacquiao. It's always them. It's the fans that speak for foreigners, bro. It's not really the black culture. Over here in America, they get very little push when it comes to media and all of that, unless the content creator is really fond of boxing, like BDA. You see what I'm saying? Or a few other outlets out there, but most of them, they don't even know boxing, bro. They don't even watch the shit. Like, they don't have the apps. They ain't got the DAZN app. They ain't got the ESPN app. They not watching boxing. I bet when that shit come on tomorrow, since there's nobody black on that card, that Mendoza, Tszyu shit, them niggas gonna play games and not watch. Nobody gonna watch that shit. They be playing, bro. Like, a lot of these dudes just be talking and acting like they know boxing when they really don't. They don't even watch.
But
shit,
the casuals, but honestly, I know people, boxing fans hate to hear the casuals talk, but the casuals are the ones who bring real money to the table. Because us guys like us, we're only like 10%. We're only 10% of the whole viewership.
But nobody watches boxing anymore. There's no TV. We've had this conversation before.
Yeah.
No TV syndication. There's like, you can watch the NBA on fucking like 4 different channels, but you can't find boxing anywhere. It's just,
see, that's the difference.
You have to buy like Showtime and ESPN to actually find boxing.
Right.
It's like, because you gotta think, NFL, NBA, all that shit got a union. The boxing, they freelancing for real. They out here just trying to make whatever bread they can make through the contract. You see what I'm saying? So it's like,
pretty much.
all of those dudes over there at football, NBA, they getting guaranteed money.
So we know Showtime. So we know Showtime is gonna end their boxing. What do you say? How do you call that shit? They're gonna show any more boxing fights. So what the fuck is next? Jimmy, are you there? Jimmy, I don't think he's there.
Jimmy.
I want to because Jimmy said, Jimmy, welcome to the show. The Zone. You said that the Zone's gonna also drop boxing. You think?
I believe they will. I believe when in the next come around, when it's March 3rd, I think is the annual, when you have to re-up, pay you $229 for a year or pay $29 a month or some retarded thing. I think they're going to lose like half their subscription, and a lot of it's going to do the fact that they announced the Haney Prograis fight as a pay-per-view. That was the final straw. That was like, if you just saw the response online, that was so, like when they first came on, remember
pay-per-view?
the sell that, yes, man, it's a pay-per-view. Think about that. the whole thing is, okay, buy a subscription. Here's the thing, no more pay-per-views. We're getting rid of it. You just pay a monthly thing. You get all our fights, a large category of fights, and blah, blah, blah. And all of a sudden, they go out and overextend themselves. Hearn goes over and overpays people. Mickey Garcia to $7 million to fight Vargas because he was throwing money around trying to secure fighters. Like an idiot. And exactly. Did that with Haney, overpaid him too. So then they turn around and then after that, the Zone, what he did was snip his balls by saying, we're taking your fucking, your purse away from you, dude. Your funding. You're not going to have that kind of money for boxing anymore. So now they're like, how am I supposed to make these fights? You saw a drastic drop off. All of a sudden, it's all like, domestic level British fights. And all of a sudden, then it was, unfortunately, because of restructuring, I think is the word they used in my billing, an occasional fight, maybe Anthony Joshua, maybe Canelo on the real big fights would go to pay-per-view. Now it's just straight across the board. Anytime Canelo fought in the Zone, it was a pay-per-view, including Ryder. Now when they just announced fucking Haney versus Prograis on a pay-per-view, it is such a slap in the face. So disrespectful.
That's not going to sell worth the shit.
That's because guys like Haney demand too much money.
Exactly.
That's true. That's true.
Can I ask you guys, right? Seriously, wouldn't you guys, as a fighter, right, taking emotions and feelings of Haney, and you know how I think of him, I think he's a usurper, but you're gonna get what you can. You're gonna take what you can get. If some asshole is willing to give me $5 million, right, I'm gonna fucking take it. No, you hear what I'm saying? So like, I can't blame fighters for taking what idiots are willing to give them. That was on Hearn. That was on the fucking people around Hearn.
I agree. I think that's why I don't blame Fury when he took the Saudi money, because I'm like, man, if they're gonna offer that much for a mismatch versus Ngannou, who looks like dog shit, like how can you blame the guy? People are mad at Fury. They should be mad at the Saudis. They should be mad at the Saudis for throwing that money at.
The result is now there's no money for Wilder Joshua. They have they shook up the boxing people over there in the Saudi within the family, because they say government. It's one family basically. It's the Saudi royal family, and there's just off branches of within the family. And the person now in charge of sports over there said, whoa, hold this fucking back. What are you guys throwing this money around without even looking at analytics? What are these people doing at their own industry. And when they looked at Wilder, they literally cut the money in half from what they were offering Wilder and Joshua. That's why that fell apart.
Jimmy,
and if you really think about it, it's going to help Fury. It's really going to help Fury because Fury he's going to get eyeballs that usually wouldn't watch boxing. He's going to get the UFC guys, the curious guys. A lot of casual fans are going to buy into it. There are a lot of people who are going to watch it because, like I said, they're casuals or the UFC guys. So Fury's not only getting a huge paycheck, he's also getting possibly a lot more fans that are going to get eyeballs on him that are going to be like, oh man, I want to watch this guy again.
Well, if he fights, if he puts on a good performance. By the way, Bentley Sports in the chat is asking Jimmy, can someone ask Jimmy, who are your top 5 black fighters? I don't know why he wants to know that specifically, but Jimmy, go ahead.
Not Marvin Hagler. I'm just kidding.
I guess
was top 5 black of all time or today?
I'm assuming now. Maybe he doesn't think that you have top 5 black fighters.
Yeah.
What's that? My top 5. I don't have top 5 of any race. I would. You know what I mean? I have 5 favorite. I have like fighters I like right now. My favorite fighters to watch are almost tied. Inoue, who's Japanese, and Crawford, who's a Black American. On the up, I like the Puerto Rican kid. I also like of course, the little Mexican American kid there, Franco's brother. He's Bam. He's unbelievable.
Bam
He's a
Rodriguez,
great little talent. Yeah, Bam Rodriguez.
Yeah.
So I don't even look at skin. It doesn't matter. Like I started going to the Golden Gloves when I was was even in kindergarten. I was being dragged every Tuesday, and then it was every Tuesday, Wednesday, and Thursday during finals. Like the last month is the finals. So because we held them in Lowell, my grandfather ran the place. So I grew up around it. So kids came in from all over the country for that, and how I used to pick is we'd be sitting with my brother. I never looked like race never even entered. I would always go with the kid who got the least amount of claps or who was kind of there by himself. I always felt, bad for but I never looked at fighters like it today. Just that this is a new thing for me, the whole race angle. I never looked at sports, especially boxing, under a race thing until I got involved in Twitter and social media. And it's a sad thing as far as I'm concerned. I don't give a fuck if you're green with fucking pink polka dots. If you leave it all in the ring and you you invoke that spirit, it gets my juices flowing like fuck. And
Jimmy,
I'm gonna fucking fire you. Yes.
Yeah.
Can I ask you something, Jimmy?
Just like that.
Okay.
Yeah,
this might be a loaded question, man, but you're right. It got racial recently, but I think that was I'm not going to sound like a hater because of the Floyd type of style of fighting that people weren't, entertained with. Because before Floyd, there was the 4 horsemen, Hagler, Hearns. They were huge. They were rock stars. It didn't matter if they were black. My favorite all-time fighter is Mike Tyson. He was exciting. And I think that's why even today, fighters like Spence and Tank get such a following because they come forward bangers. I think what it was that transition for a while when we had that period where people wanted to be cute, defensive first. I think that's where the whole race thing came into fruition because that's when Floyd was like, "Oh, it's a race thing because you don't like me." No, it's a race thing. It's not a race thing. It's because we don't like your style. It's boring. But if you get a black fighter like Hagler, like Tyson, like Tank, guys that go for actually get knockouts and are fun to watch, that goes out the window. So I think it's these weirdos who love Floyd and fall for his what do you call it when you're a victimhood mentality, or like, oh, it's because I'm black. No, it's because you're boring. And you saw fighters like Haney. We got to break away from that slick style.
Yeah,
boxing
lefty. It's just an
entertainment.
You're exactly right.
Boxing is entertainment.
Yo, that's so fucking cliche. That's just so bullshit. That's a dumbass. I don't know where that shit came from.
I'd like to ask that. I'd like that guy who asked that question. I'd like to know what's that generated from. Like, what was the purpose behind that question? I mean, because think about it, guys. If I was a racist dude, like if that was how I was basing my love for boxing, especially in the 70s and 80s, list all the fucking great white guys. List all the great white fighters in the 70s and 80s. I'll wait.
Yeah,
I'm about to say, I don't know.
Crickets, right? There weren't none. Exactly. So if you were a boxing fan, it wasn't a good sport for white supremacists. You know what I'm saying? So that's just asking. My favorite two fighters are Alexis Arguello and Marvin Hagler. Okay, so
in the chat we have a super chat from TR Rose. Thank you for your hold on, just quickly. Thank you for your super chat. He says, "I'm waiting for the day Al Heyman is out of boxing. That man was toxic to the rest. Sorry, he was toxic to the sport for years.
He has a cult.
Yeah,
he'll probably sign with Amazon. Yeah. But here, BDA Bucho, for that Crip that wanted to know what the 5 best black boxers are, in my opinion, it's Sugar Ray Robinson, Joe Louis, Muhammad Ali, Sugar Ray Leonard, and Hagler. That's my top 5, black fighters of all time.
That's an excellent list. That's a great list.
Seems pretty good list.
Sugar Ray Robinson is probably the greatest all around fighter. I would have to concur.
But Jimmy, my question was like when that slick style came around, that was pretty recent. And I think that's when the whole race thing came about because it was like looking for ways out to, especially guys like Floyd are like, oh, you guys just don't like because I'm black. No,
that's what your
style has been fun to watch.
Well, Asians in general can be. I mean, they're very nationalistic to be nice. I mean, they can. I saw that because I wasn't really so much a fan of Pacquiao or Floyd. Like I didn't even buy that fight because I knew. I was trying to tell everybody. I called in the local Boston radio show, and they talked to me all the time about boxing. Because I was the guy who they would talk to about when fights come on. I told the people on the show, I'm like, don't buy this fight. It's going to be horrible. It's going to be a horrible fight. Now think about this. That fight did so much damage to the sport that it basically that was after that fight was when HBO realized we got to get out. That was kind of the point. And then Showtime, they had a class action lawsuit with I believe how many people was it? I think somebody put it up before. It was like 6,600 people sued to get their $100 back. It was a class action suit brought across.
Jimmy, at the same time, I think that boring. I think that fight at the same time, I think that fight helped Heyman because that helped him swindle Waddle and Reed into lending him $500 million. Because then he has a guy like Floyd and saying, look, I just broke the record. I just sold 5 billion pay-per-views. I made this much money. Lend me this $1 billion and I'm going to replicate that and make you all your money back. I think that's what kind of helped launch him, though. So it did a lot of damage.
And that and the guy who worked at Waddle and Reed, Waddle and Reed, the guy who actually worked there, who left after he brokered the deal, and then he went to work for Al Heyman. I mean, that in itself, I'm surprised the SEC didn't fucking, bring charges. That's crazy, what that dude did, who's no longer with the PBC, mind you. Because the money went away. I think it was 18 months.
How Amazon looks at this product.
He probably ran out with a bunch of money, Jimmy. Don't worry about that guy.
How do you guys think Al Heyman, when he talked to Amazon, how do you think he tried to sell the PBC to Amazon? What do you guys think he said? Like, we have Canelo.
There's I can tell you the article by Mike Hill. It's in Los Angeles Business. He basically talked with Heyman's lawyer and somebody else who was in on the meeting. And it was basically now this is key. Heyman told them, we want to bring boxing back to free television where it belongs. We want to do it with the pay-per-view model. He called it an antiquated platform rife with theft, with thievery. So think about that. So this guy, the whole reason for the PBC was to get fights off pay-per-view. Now every fight he puts on is on pay-per-view.
That was the gimmick before, though. You understand, Jimmy? That was the gimmick before. Like he lied to with the investors and everything. That was a lie before. It's about everything's gonna be free, and then next thing you know, everything's pay-per-view. Like it's
he ran out of that. Once he ran out of that money, he needed to finance it somewhere. Because remember, Al Heyman's not a promoter, right? That was the big thing. He was in court with Bob Arum. He's like, no, I'm an advisor. I'm not a promoter. No money comes out of my pocket. You know what I mean? I have no financial.
He's not even a manager.
He gets 15%. Yeah, he gets 15% of everything. He gets 15% of the venue. He gets 15% of each fighter's purse. So in the beginning, it behooved him to overpay everybody. I don't give a fuck. Like, I'm going to pay you $2 million for a fight that 2 years ago you would have got $800,000. Why? Because I get 15% of it. Plus, if I pay you over $1 million, you automatically extend your contract. I have you for another 2 years.
Yeah, he scalps his own tickets. Hey, Jimmy, he scalps his own tickets. I know y'all talked about that.
Yes, he does. Yeah, he buys them with, him and Floyd, they buy the lower bowl on all the big fights run by the PBC.
And they resell them.
Right.
Yeah,
That's one of the craziest things, though, is that
Amazon
cannot be this stupid. Like, hopefully, like, there are people, the powers that be, who's handling this deal, is doing the research of what happened with Showtime and stuff like that. Listen, we'll sign PBC, but we want these certain fights. We don't want Tank Davis versus Isaac Cruz. We don't want that garbage.
Hold on, is that the next fight? I was just about to ask that before y'all cut up. Is that the next? Is that his next fight?
That's what they're trying to make.
Allegedly.
That's what they talking about. Yeah, that's what they talking. Yeah, they trying so hard to get this fight over the line, bro. That's how terrible the PBC is, man. Like, they trying so hard to get this garbage ass fight over the line.
Going to fight a champion or not his next go around. That should be a bet. That should be on the money line or some shit. Will Tank fight a champion? Like, you should be able to bet on that shit.
He's not. He's not, man. I mean, look how many guys from the PBC that have recently taken L's. Like Wilder, Spence. What's his name? Cool Boy Steph. I mean, their front runners are all getting knocked off. So that's another reason. Ellaby got a big knot in his stomach when he saw that Crawford fight. Man, he's like, nope, definitely not going after Shakur. Nobody like that.
You know what? Al Heyman was dumb. He should have been smart and let DAZN consolidate them. Like, you know what I'm saying? Make a deal with DAZN. His fighters will get paid. Yeah, they'll get beat up, but they'll get paid. You know what I'm saying? They'll get dates. And they'll get paid. Like him constantly trying to run this scam off, like with Amazon, like with the Tank Davis, like this Smoke and Mirrors Act, man. It's like it's trash, man. Have the zone.
Well, Heyman played his good
fights. They shouldn't do that.
No, it's not. He's not, man. He's not.
Heyman knows what you're saying. I think Heyman knows exactly what you're saying. That's why he's not signing nobody. If you notice, the PBC's not picking up. They didn't even sign Boots. And he's like, he looks like the guy. He looks like the truth. I think they're gonna see what they can swindle. If they can get a deal, then maybe they'll carry on. But he's not signing people, so I think he knows exactly what he's facing, and what you're saying.
But you know what though? But by the time the Amazon deal gets done, might be nothing left, because as you can see what's going on, like Showtime is cashing out all their fighters. They're cashing them out. You know what I'm saying? Like Charlo, Errol Spence. They tried, like, hopefully we'll see what happens with Benavidez and Andrade, the Benavidez fight, and the Crawford fight. They want to do those two fights.
I hope y'all are ready for Dana White.
Yeah. Hold on, I have a question. So wait, hold on. So Canelo still has 2 fights left with PBC, right, or Showtime, or how does that work?
Yep.
Showtime.
There's 2 more signed to it's to Al Heyman, to the PBC.
Okay, but see,
so
but if Showtime is dropping, so he has to fight somewhere, right?
Yeah, whoever's going to back it. It's not going to. I highly doubt it's going to be Amazon, unless they're not going to give him
Amazon's
they're not going to give him any kind of any money. They're not going to give. Especially, they just lost $1 billion on over $1 billion on the that stupid. Fucking Lord of the Rings series they did.
Oh, that too.
Even if Showtime says no more boxing on regular Showtime, they're not dumb enough to say, "Oh, okay, well we're not." Of course, it's Canelo. They're gonna be like, "Okay, but we're gonna keep Canelo for his next 2 fights or however long he's with y'all. We'll put it on pay-per-view because it's gonna do numbers."
I wanna ask Jimmy, like, okay, yeah, Canelo signed to PBC, but like, does Showtime have the final say of who he fights? Though, does Showtime have a final say? Yeah, he signed to PBC, but the network, do they have final say?
No, Showtime doesn't anymore. No. Now the Showtime's not putting up with the money. Showtime will put whatever they want on pay-per-view because the infrastructure's already there. It doesn't cost them nothing. They just get 40% of whatever it takes in.
Because the reason why I want to say that is that
back when they used to finance fights, they would say like no, yes or no to fights.
Right. So what I'm thinking is like, okay, with Benavidez and Andre, right? They want to make that fight next. Okay, they want to make that fight next. Now, let's say by some miracle, Andre beats, Benavidez. You know what I'm saying? They're gonna, that Crawford fight is next. They're not gonna waste money with Boo Boo. They want to cash out because one of their golden horses has been beat. So Showtime, they're leaving anyway, right? They're leaving anyway. So they want. Listen, I'm sorry. They want to cash out the most money possible. It's Benavidez. Who's this?
I agree with you. I agree.
Yeah, so like Showtime is leaving, so they want to. I'm telling you, it's Benavidez and Crawford. Hopefully Benavidez is next, so he could clean out his division and all doubts, and then fight Bud Crawford as the end game. and like the winner retires or some shit, or whatever. You know what I'm saying? I mean, I'm pretty sure Canelo loses.
Yeah, I agree with you, and I agree with you because of this. Because Crawford is just a hired contractor, just like Canelo is just a hired contractor. They're not.
They're not under contract. They're not under contract by Al Heyman. Like,
yeah, so I can see them just throwing together those fights, like you said.
What?
I don't know what the hell is
that. That's okay. Ban him.
I agree with you, man. They might do it just so they can cash out both Canelo and Crawford because Canelo has 2 fights, Crawford has 1. The Showtime and now.
Can I tell you a rumor? Can I tell you a rumor that I usually get a lot of my rumors for? I think most of you guys know where they come from, but it's because they can't verify it, so he won't, talk about it online or write about it. But there's a rumor that basically the person behind Crawford's telling Spence he wants it at 147 is Espinosa and Al Heyman. They don't want to make that rematch.
They don't.
Showtime doesn't want that rematch because it's not going to sell. It's not going to sell. How you going to fucking sell that fight? It's a pay-per-view. It was a one-sided fight. Like, how do you package that?
Yeah.
Basically, the only people that want to see that fight is a handful of fucking, fucking Spence sycophants who just, want their revenge, so, like, that's it. But it's not going to sell. It just isn't. The last one did 600.
I think even low-key, I think even low-key, those weirdos don't want it. They might be rooting for it, but I think they don't want it because if it doesn't happen, they get to go run with another narrative that, he didn't want the Spence rematch. He's ducking. But, I mean, they know what.
Yeah, because he would have beat him.
Yeah, ducking.
Yeah. But I totally agree. Like Crawford, Showtime, they don't want they don't want to pay for that fight. They don't want to promote that fight. That fight was so trash. And like if the only reason why Errol is activating that rematch clause, he's cashing out, man. He's cashing out. You know what I'm saying? He knows this is gonna be his last fight. You know what I'm saying? And if I was Showtime, like the network, they should. I always thought situations like this, like I think like the network would step in and just like cancel that contract in terms of the rematch clause. Like fuck that. You can rematch it, but not with us. You know what I'm saying? Like we gonna cancel that. We want this fight. You know what I'm saying? Because like nobody wants it. Nobody wants this rematch.
I agree. It is a cash out. In fact, if it does happen, which is supposed to be in February of next year, and Spence loses, he's going to retire probably immediately after the fight.
Of course,
because I think he's not going to be able to make anywhere near that kind of money with anybody else. Who's going to fight Boots? Boots will probably wreck him pretty easily too. So
Jimmy,
for sheer money,
destroy him.
Yeah. And Jimmy, have you seen him lately? He's already fat already. Like Errol's fat already. He's fat already.
He drops like around
seen him lately
35 pounds.
Pictures he's on his girlfriend's IG. Like you'll see Errol on his girlfriend's IG, and he's fat. He has a belly.
Well, yeah, I guess his mother lives near him still, and she's supposedly a really great cook, and they do a lot of barbecue and stuff. He's big in the family, and they throw a lot of barbecues and stuff. So it's easy living. You know what I mean? Like everybody likes to chew down and. I mean, I like Errol. I like his personality. I think he seems like a pretty down-to-earth kid. You know what I mean? Yep. Out of the two, I think I would get along better with Spence than I would Crawford. But I just think Crawford.
Hey, but does it look good on Terence Crawford? Does it look good on Terence Crawford when his biggest win looks like he's already retired? Like, you know what I mean? What does that tell you?
Actually,
we didn't find out until the night of the fight that he was damaged goods. We didn't know. Like before the fight, Errol was Errol.
We knew he was damaged goods before then. We 100% knew he was damaged goods.
No, I mean, we speculate because he talked like a fucking retard. Like he talks like a retard. You know what I'm saying? Like a retard.
That's that Texas drawl. You know what I mean? That's just always kind of way he's talked. I don't think, the accident itself, let's look at, break it down, look at the accident. What were the injuries? He cracked some teeth, and he got some road rash on his face. Right? But he was drunk, so he was probably passed out when he flipped. He had no fractures in his skull. He had no head injury of any kind, right?
But we don't
release him. Well, they don't release you in the hospital in 72 hours if you're fucked up. You know what I mean? Yeah. Like he was, the spokesman for the hospital came out who have nothing to do with boxing. They're not going to put out a lie. And they just said, he's in stable condition. He was fortunate. Nothing, no major internal organs injuries. He was coherent and talking. He was wide awake and talking the night of the accident. So that whole thing, the accident isn't what fucked him up. What fucked him up is the drinking. The drinking, what he calls everything.
Hey, Jimmy,
it was a combination of everything. It was a combination of everything. Go ahead.
Hey, Jimmy, can I tell you something?
Sure.
Oh, hey, no, this is because I'm in Texas. I'm pretty close. I'm really close to the boxing scene down here. And I'm gonna tell you, like, and I told, because you weren't on the line yet, but I told these guys, take it or leave it. You don't have to believe me, but this is what I know. I know people in the amateurs that were with Spence. He, even in the amateurs, you know, amateurs travel around. They stay in hotels together. And
of course.
Yep. Even back in the amateurs, he would sneak out and go to clubs and drink. Like that's in the amateurs, bro. But when he was broke, imagine when he got all that money. Like, of course, I mean, it's just showed with the car crash. Like, he's been doing it since he was a teenager. Like,
he got fucked up the weekend he left the hospital. The weekend he left the hospital after the car accident, he got wrecked, and he was under court order. The judge told him not to drink, and like he said in the podcast. And he always used that word, everything. Man, I was getting fucked up in everything. I was drinking and everything. Like, what's everything? He keeps saying everything. I think. Well, coke, right? Yeah. Everybody, they're fucking pot. Because the thing is, when you're a boxer, you're famous, right? So you're Errol Spence. You hit a local fucking wet spot. All the fucking dudes like this Errol Spence. If you start getting buzzed and all of a sudden the coke comes out, easiest way into like anything, whether you're a celebrity, a fucking musician, or a fucking athlete. If you're doing coke, you're going to find a legion of people who will give you as much coke as you want just to be in your circle. So it's
I mean, like,
it's never hard to find it.
Yeah, I don't want to make it sound like I met him before. He's nice, but yeah, it is what it is, man. That's the thing.
And again, it's his own words, man. He said it multiple times. I have the recording when he said, "I got fucked up and everything. I was partying and everything." He kept saying that. So my thing is, what's the other thing?
I just wanted to put it in context. Yeah, I just want to put it into context. He's been trying to juggle the party life and boxing since teenagers, amateur days.
And I seen Coke take down so many dudes. Manny Freitas, he was ready to fight Marvin Hagler. He come down, he's like, dude, I just signed a contract. We fighting Hagler. He's on the sidewalk, fucking doing shadow boxing. He said, good for you, Manny. That's awesome. Bop. 2 weeks later, got busted with a kilo of Coke. Because he got his fucking signing bonus, and he went out and bought fucking Coke to sell, and then he got popped.
Hey, yo, Jimmy, understand this logic. Okay, you about to have a fight with Marvin Hagler. Guess what? I'm gonna do some coke and sell some kilos. Do some coke before the fight.
Well, in the late 70s, early 80s, a lot of boxers were using it as a weight cut. Because what does it do? It suppresses your appetite, and you can fucking eat your muscle tissue away. But back then, they didn't know, so they would sniff coke, and man, I can eat all day, and I'm still fucking going. Yeah, boy.
But that's also the party of coke gets out of your system within 1 day.
He was more of like a weed smoker or a perk head type shit, like somebody who keep hitting.
Right,
smoking a bunch of grass and some shit like.
He always looks some lean.
He never looked like he got any energy, bro. Like nigga never
looks like he's fucking stoned 24/7.
Roberto Duran was a known partier. He used to drink and
wicked.
Yeah,
Arturo Gatti, dude. Arturo Gatti. Remember when Arturo Gatti had his 2 years of inactivity? He disappeared from the sport. He came back, and that's when he fought Mickey on the comeback. That was his comeback trail. Because he was a full-blown heroin addict.
You know that, Jimmy.
He was banging fucking dope in his arm.
Yep. He was the king of Jersey, man.
He was literally on the fucking street shooting bags of dope.
It just goes to show you that fighters are human, man. There's so much pressure being a fighter. Not only that, you got to think about the behavioral trauma that happens because, like, football players get concussions. They usually tend to end up wilding out and killing their girlfriends and doing crazy shit because you're dealing with neurological shit, you know.
Yeah, I think it's worse. Look at the pool. Look at the pool they're pulling from. You don't got kids who go to prep school becoming professional boxers. It is what it is. It's always been socioeconomically driven. I mean, that's the reason why there was one time Jews were great boxers when they were coming out of the fucking slums of New York.
Yeah, once you get out of that,
that's what I've been telling people. You don't want your kid getting punched in the face. You know what I mean?
Whenever
So
anybody asks me about the fighters coming up, I'm always telling the new wave of fighters is going to be the Eastern Europeans. Ever since the wall came down, man, these guys are like, I don't know, they're animals. You know, you see with the Lomachenko, the Triple G's, the Beterbiev.
Did you guys see that? Did you guys see that video of Mike Tyson? Mike Tyson was saying that one of his sons said he wanted to get into boxing, and then Mike Tyson said he started laughing. He's like, "You're going to a private school. You're doing this and that. Like, what are you gonna do? Fight an animal like me?"
Yeah.
Right. Good luck.
Because you're rich. You don't know. You don't know what hunger is. You don't know what hunger is. You know when to struggle. You don't know what to want something. You don't know what to need something. You know what to fight for something.
Why the fuck is he wasting his time training Francis Ngannou then if he feel like all of this shit? Why the fuck is he wasting his time? Because I don't feel like this man got.
No, but Tyson loves the game. Tyson loves boxing.
Yeah, he does love boxing. He's a student of the game.
He's a historian.
Look at listen, Mike Tyson for you has no education.
Can you guys hear me? One at a time. Jeez.
Hey guys, can I just read a super chat here? Guys, quickly, super chat. Sursayer says R1, R2, L2, R2, left down, right up, left down, down, left. Some cheat code from some game. I don't know, man. Thanks.
Life
choices remind you guys of Tommy Morrison's life choices.
He's playing Dark Souls.
Oh, maybe. I don't know.
Yeah, Tommy Morrison, the kid with AIDS, right?
Yeah,
it's a crazy lifestyle. So as much as we bag on fighters,
everything
we got to think about, man, it's a crazy
pretty much
life. You know?
Same thing Errol's doing: party, drink.
Yo, if Francis Ngannou stumped Tyson Fury for any reason, what the fuck happens?
Jesus Christ, guys! If you hear somebody talking, just don't go talking over him.
That's what they said they agreed to fight, right? Tyson Fury, he's fighting Usyk, right? Tyson Fury, he's fighting Usyk after Ngannou.
Well, you guys
supposedly.
They agreed. Allegedly, they agreed. So we'll see.
It's happening.
Okay.
It's happening.
Supposedly it's supposed to be announced after the Ngannou fight or the day of.
That fight is a joke, but that commercial was amazing. Like the commercial they made.
Yeah.
Man, I'm telling you guys, I'm telling you guys, go to a sports bar that doesn't I got one that doesn't charge at Twin Peaks. I don't know if y'all have those up there. They got some high.
It's gonna sell. It's gonna sell.
Man, it's gonna be a bunch of casual.
I don't think it's gonna sell
as
much as you think it is, but it might sell a little.
I'm gonna be. It's gonna be like 7, 8, probably.
It's gonna be like some tank numbers.
You gotta understand, like the MMA crowd is gonna buy that. The casuals and MMA crowd is gonna buy that fight. They're gonna buy that fight. Yeah.
I'm curious.
Exactly.
Any Francis Ngannou, whoever already watching Francis Ngannou gonna come.
Yeah, I was gonna say the thing is, Francis Ngannou wasn't that popular even in MMA. Like he was a good fighter, but he wasn't like the Conor McGregor type like popularity. And my question is this: are they really gonna buy it? Because if you go into the MMA sites, a lot of people are poo-pooing this thing because they're like tired of it. Because their thing is like, how many times are we going to get burnt by this? Like Ben Askar and all these guys going, because their thing now is they want to see boxers step into the octagon.
Everything is pay-per-view now. Everything is pay-per-view, and it goes for like $70, $80. So you'd be broke by the time of the year, the year ends. With all the fucking pay-per-views. It's ridiculous.
I don't know, man, but where I live, sports bars are real popular. Like, people go to sports bars or patio bars or just bars, period. And they average, because you got the social media era. They're on Facebook, they're on Instagram saying how they're gonna no cover charge, come drink and watch the fight, and then party with the DJ spinning music afterwards. Like that's where a lot of the shit's going. That's usually where I go when I don't want to pay for it.
Yeah,
it's a social event.
They used to show fights in the movie theaters. They used to show fights like on movie theaters.
They do out here.
That's cool. Why the fuck don't they still do that?
They still do it here and there. I was hoping to see the Canelo fight in the movie theater.
Yeah. Canelo and Charlo was in the movie theater. It was in the movie.
Yeah, I was trying to go to that. They didn't have it around me. Because I saw they had a UFC event like a couple of weeks before that, but they didn't. Unfortunately, they didn't have boxing. But I'm in a boxing area in Texas, so.
And the reason a lot of boxers, a lot of them do the coke, right? Because if you get to a certain level in boxing, like you get that, people cheering your name, that feeling of like beating a dude after a bloody fight, like that. That's a high that you can't capture. What else in life? You retire. Now think about an average bet, especially back in the day. You were 32, you were done. Most of these guys on this live right now, if aren't 32 or close to it, imagine all of a sudden that's it for the rest of your life. Now what do you do? What do you do?
Skydiving.
You know what I mean?
Yeah,
and what are you going to do? Yeah, right. Skydiving. You get shit like that to try to get those endorphins back. So or you go into the bathroom in some fucking shithole. You do a rail off the back of a toilet and fucking whoa, yeah.
That's another reason I see it.
They become adrenaline junkies, pretty much. They just become adrenaline junkies.
That's what it is.
I'm not high.
Yeah, it comes out of your system quick too. I know that's why people do it too.
Every time y'all start talking about the coke shit, that shit remind me of the time the nigga Joe Rogan had told the story about when he met Andrew Tate and he asked him to take a bump or some shit, and Andrew Tate was like, "Nah, I don't do that shit," and then had walked off and stormed off on him and shit, and then he went over there with his homeboy in a line and shit. He was like, "Hey, dude, you just told me you don't do coke and shit like that."
And and that's the funny thing too, man. There's nothing made that I haven't seen people snort fucking meth or coke off of, including HVA ducks behind a fucking ice cream stand once on there was like 50 of us on a bike ride one night. Harleys all said, "Whoa." Guy put his arm up, everybody pulled in his ice cream stand. Everybody went in the back. I'm seeing everybody doing lines off the fucking, they're the big fans in the back on the, built into the ground, part of the AC unit. I'm like, really? That rusty old piece of shit? You get chopping coke up for it?
So stupid that the fact that boxers will go that low when they know they have a career fighting.
No, and if you think about it, they got a lot of time off too. They got a lot of time off these days. They're not busy. They're not busy. Imagine only.
It doesn't matter.
What else
if they live a healthy lifestyle, why would you want to ruin that?
Well, they're not being managed properly, though, in my opinion, because go ahead.
Sorry, brother. Go. No, go. Finish what you're saying. I'm sorry.
All right. Well, they're not managed properly. Jimmy said earlier, most of them are poor. They're probably not going to have anybody telling them what to do. So once they get any kind of money or or have any kind of fun, and like you were poor, you live in a bad area, and now you're in a nice area, and you have all this other shit available to you. They probably don't have the mechanism to stay on track, and there's nobody there to keep them on course.
And none of y'all are really bringing up the kryptonite. None of y'all are really bringing up the kryptonite to fighters, and I'm surprised I haven't heard about it yet. Well, the kryptonite, okay, imagine Spence going up to a VIP room, and Spence, he just made it the women.
Yep, that's what I say. Yeah, pussy. Yeah, look, women have taken down a lot of fucking fighters.
Holy shit, that pussy be taking me down all the time. God damn.
I know. I got a lot, man. If I was a fighter, I'd be Adrian Broner. I'd be Broner. I'd have
to do things you normally wouldn't do. Yeah. But no, it is. It's just like, yeah, it's because even if you get that money, say you're a millionaire and you're living in some fucking waspy white cul-de-sac neighborhood, but those boxers aren't going to party there. They go back to the fucking neighborhood. You know what I mean? Like, look what Davis got into his car accident. He slammed that Lamborghini in Baltimore. He wasn't driving on Beverly Hills. You go back to your hood. That's where you go back.
Like, damn.
And another thing too, when you got like
you want to show off problems, to your homies.
Exactly, it's showing off to your homies. And the thing is, it gets even worse. It's even more nefarious because it's not only don't you have people giving you good advice, you got a lot of hangers on and yes men because nobody wants to be to cut the fuck off, right? So you got people and especially if you're an extended family, you're close. A lot of these fighters, what's his name? The kid from Mexico there, fucking Julio Cesar Chavez. He said, I never realized how many fucking relatives I had until I got rich. You know what I mean? It's crazy, dude.
It's so true.
It's pressure, man.
There's Rob him blind, man.
People say that when they win the lottery. They're like, oh, yeah, your cousin that you haven't talked to for like 25 years. Like, hey, how you doing? You're like, holy shit. You're like,
that's what I'm starting to warm up, and that's another reason I'm trying to warm up to the idea of having Dana come in because you see how he runs UFC. He's like, you're fighting so and so, and that's it. And if not, you're out. You know what I mean? Like maybe we need something like that because enabling these guys and letting them abduct people like the PBC that allows their guys to duck within the PBC. We saw that with Spence and Thurman. Leo Santa Cruz ducked Gary Russell. I mean, we've seen it over and over. So, like, Dana's not that kind of guy. And that's kind of how Top Rank runs their ship, too. We saw they a lot of the guys that Golden Boy and PBC has, the Top Rank kicked him out.
The big difference between Top Rank and PBC, that's Bob's money. Like Keith Sean Davis right now is not making enough money to support his lifestyle. That nice apartment he has, that nice car he's got. You know where that money comes from? Bob pays that shit. So when you're a promoter, you're paying their food, you're paying their electricity, you're paying their fucking rent.
Medical.
So,
that's just a sugar daddy.
Exactly, and that's exactly what would happen with the fallout with him and Crawford, and that's when people were saying, "Oh, Bob, how dare Bob talk about his own fighter?" The backstory is that somebody from Team Crawford went out of their way to slander Bob Arum, and that was after Bob Arum was overpaying him just so he can keep him happy because he saw on the other side of the street that Spence was getting the Waldo and Reed money that still existed. And so that's why Bob was like, fuck this guy, you know what I mean? So it wasn't that Bob just lashed out and hates his fighter. There was a story to it.
There's an actual point you can point to in the relationship. Was the breaking point was under COVID when everybody was fighting, remember, in like empty places, you know what I mean, where the whole place would be empty. You could like hear the fucking guys talking in the corner. Okay, so now you put yourself on that. So Crawford was the highest paid guaranteed money, like the per fight. He got almost 3 times, 2.5 times higher money guaranteed than the next closest welterweight. I think Spence was getting 1.75 guaranteed per fight. Crawford was getting 3.5 million. Here's the thing: Bob came to him. In your contract, you were supposed to get 3 fights a year at 3.5 million, right? That's so whatever that is. That's fucking $11 million or whatever. So he said, but here's the thing, bro. I'm going to recoup most of my money on the gate. It's COVID right now, bro. There's going to be no gate. 3.5 million, dude. That's just almost a complete loss for me. So you think you can meet me halfway? Remember, take this fight and Crawford's people said, go fuck yourself. We want 3.5. And Bob took that very personal. Like everybody on Top Rank would take a cut in their pay if whoever fought under the COVID restrictions. Crawford was like, fuck you. I'm not coming off that 3.5. So that was when Bob started going like, okay, you want to be like that? It's like, man, I from what I lost on him, because he left right before the big money started rolling in. So that he was shouldn't have said it. It wasn't, but Bob was spiteful, and he said, I could have bought a house in Beverly Hills for what the money I lost on Crawford. And that's just in that fight alone. You know what I mean? He lost on that fight alone. That he didn't probably think about it, 3.5 million. No fucking audience. Not on pay-per-view.
Yeah, I mean that's the inflation that happened in boxing before it did our economy, right? That's when the Waddle and Reed money that Al Heyman tried to swindle all the fighters to come his way by overpaying his fighters, but he's not the only one. It was also Eddie Hearn. Eddie Hearn got all that money, and he blew what was it, $500 million, trying to do the same thing, overpaying Haney, overpaying Boo Boo, and just trying to lure guys to sign with the zone when he was trying to get started. So those two fuckers right there, man, they're the ones that really threw a wrench in the system, and it really messed up the fights from happening and fighters from wanting to take. I mean, even recently, Heyman pretty much told Wilder, I can't pay you what you want, so you can be a freelancer, but just give me my cut. So that's why he's out here. That's why he's out there. And all of a sudden, he's a devout Muslim in Mecca. He's fishing for money.
You know what they both have in common?
Did he become a Muslim?
Well, he was over there with the whole suit up and going. I mean, he was. I mean, they were all kneeling to the Saudis. Him, Haney,
Devin Haney,
all those guys.
No, he's not. No. Now you're talking some bullshit. Deontay Wilder is not Muslim. Stop it.
Okay, well, he was wearing the get up.
Devin Haney just posted on Twitter. Devin Haney posted support for Palestine, and Floyd Mayweather posted something that's supporting Israel. So it's pretty interesting.
Yeah, it's probably just all in the long run. He's trying to get the spotlight on him so he can talk about how great he is.
I'm gonna say something about a lot of black guys, man, in this country, bro. You mean 1 minute they'd be Christian, next minute they'd be Muslim, bro. There's no telling what the hell he is right now.
Granted, he all about the black movement, but he's never claimed to be Muslim. He always been a Christian.
Yeah, his grandmother's really religious. And did you see they put up a recent interview. Like, remember that whole? It wasn't until after he left his woman he had the babies with, that new girl. Same thing with fucking on his knee Kaepernick. It was a woman who pushed him into that whole like race thing. Because there's an interview from 2017. He sat down with somebody who was talking about coming from Alabama, the fucking, the Adam himself, the heart of slavery. And he says, and I'll be honest with you, I never fucking dealt with any racism of any kind. He said, I'm telling nobody, no. High school, I'd never even experienced it, so I don't know anything about it. So it's like, you keep it in content. So like, I don't like that when they become about it and then they start acting like they've been oppressed and shit like that. Dude, be honest. Say like, he was a basketball star in high school. He was the big man on campus. Like he was the big guy on school. Like he was the most popular athlete in high school. So, you know what I mean? I just don't be honest about it though.
But he never even said anything like that. Like he's oppressed and anything like that. That's just him, bro. Like leave Deontay Wilder alone, man. Let's talk about another boxer, man.
Nah, man, fuck that bullshit. Because dude, he tried he brought it on himself, dude. Because that's where when he started going down that route, that's when his numbers started falling down. You don't want to isolate half the family. Like he's going on podcasts. Actually, it's scrubbed off the internet. It's very hard to find. But he was on with that fucking the guy Ray Lopez. I forget his last name. The guy from Showtime. Who when he talks to the announcer out of the side of his mouth, welcome to Showtime Boxing, the guy weirdo, but he was on there, and while he was on there saying this most ridiculous, just like crazy shit, and he got like angry. Then he was on with that fucking Antifa kid who used to be on Boxing Boys with the pock face, that white kid with that real bad skin. He was on there saying, and that kid's a wicked fuck. He's one of those self-loathing white Antifa dudes who likes when people bash white people. So he fired Wilder up. And just like he got him to say a bunch of dumb shit. It's like, so it just didn't help his career. I'm just saying.
Wilder's the thing is this with Wilder. All right. So just to let it be known, to stamp it right here. The only time Wilder ever even like did something that was like, you feel me, that was real like wow, every black person was like, wow, this nigga really doing this, is when he was like, to this day, against the Tyson Fury thing. Like that was like when he was on the radio.
Brother, dude.
Other than that,
what about when he said boxing is a racist sport for white privilege? See this? How is it a racist sport? The highest paid athletes are black. The top 5 highest paid athletes are black. How is this a racist sport?
Listen, I've never heard him say this.
Okay, hold on. Let me add this. Kovalev fought Andre Ward, who got robbed. Right? Kovalev got robbed. Triple G, that was another white guy, but fucking Lomachenko, he gets robbed. So it's not a racist sport, dude. And this is what he said, too. This is what fucking Wilder said. Don't even play fucking games.
He did not get robbed, man. He did not get robbed.
It's all about the money. All about the money.
What up, bro? No gun involved. He got robbed. He got robbed.
He did not get robbed, bro. That could have went anyways.
Crawford's actually his friend. Like, they're friends. And even Crawford after the fight, he's like, he's my boy. I'm there for him. But I'm not going to lie, man. That was fucked up. Every fighter I know who watched that fight said without a doubt he won.
Listen, bro, I was satisfied. This is my opinion, bro. I was satisfied either way that fight went, bro. That was the closest shit fight.
Bro, that was a total robbery. Lomachenko deserved to win that fight. No,
outlanded him by 33 punches. He set the pace. The most effective punches were by Lomachenko. At no time was Lomachenko having to reach out and hold on to Haney to stop the barrage. They were fighting at Lomachenko's pace. He was the older, smaller, supposedly less athletic man. And to put on that performance, to have that rip from you,
Jimmy,
Vegas. Vegas is going
into the fight.
Going into the fight, Vegas had a 2-1 favorite. In the 12th round, if you went to the Vegas, they at the 12th round, going into the 12th round, it said Haney needs a knockout to win.
Yeah. Can I tell you who knockout to win that fight?
Yo,
Can I say who the most?
Chibi, you there, man?
I'm here.
Okay, my guy. Remember, I haven't been on here for a while, but since last we spoke, you were riding for Jamel hardcore. Remember?
Yes, I was.
Time?
I knew this was going to get brought up. I knew this was going to get brought up. Listen,
no,
I'm not even going to. All right, can I talk first before you go? Before you go, let me talk. Let me talk first. Listen, before you go, I just want to say straight up on my soul, bro, Jamel Charlo lost a fan that night. I hyped this nigga. I told my homeboys about it, that niggas that don't even watch boxing, showed them clips, everything, because I really believed in this dude. This motherfucker came in for a check. I don't respect him. I would never respect him.
Yeah, but we were saying that and you were disagreeing with us.
No, to defend Black Chibi, I knew Canelo was gonna win. I thought he was gonna win, but I didn't expect Charlo to put on that type of performance. That guy didn't even try.
Bucho or BDA?
This is Bucho.
I thought this is why
we expected him to let his hands go. And by
the way, this is why I say this, bro. This is why I always support Deontay Wilder, bro. Because even though he did think he was gonna whoop Tyson Fury, he went out on his shield, and that's the most respect I can get from somebody.
All I'm saying, man, Chibi, is ever since you've been riding hard for fucking Mel, anything that you say from here on forth, you be riding hard for fucking Wilder now. You be riding hard for.
I always rode for hard for Wilder. I always did.
Hey guys,
no man, we
that's cool.
Man.
That's Canelo gave us the crap fight, man.
I don't read the fight.
Okay, let me ask the entire panel. Let me ask the entire panel. Did you guys think that fucker who was answering questions to Floyd at the post fight conference, he was planted there by fucking Floyd?
That was a yes man. Yes, that was a yes man.
Yes.
Like that motherfucker was planted there.
Yes.
It
was 100% a yes man.
No, but let me.
I was waiting for a yes man.
It's like
I don't agree with that. I don't think he was a yes man. No, he was speaking facts. You know,
you are fucking huffing guy.
He was a yes man in the sense down to Mayweather.
Nobody can understand what's going on. Black dude who's ever fucking been on methadone, but I think Chibi's on meth.
Chibi, I give Chibi props, man. He did eat his crow after the Charlo, man. But this is my only point about Wilder, man. Like, this dude has said so much bizarre things. Like, it went not only the racial things, but I mean, look at the excuses for all the losses. And look at what he did to Mark Brilliant. No, but look at what he did to Mark Brilliant. No, wait, I'm not done. But look at what he did to Mark Brilliant. Like the way he threw him under the bus, the way he tried to say he was against him. But this was also another thing that. Hey, I don't know if you know this, but it turns out that there was days Mark Brilliant would have to check in with Wilder's right hand man, and he said if Wilder wasn't in the mood to talk that day, I couldn't talk to him that day. So he had to check in first to see if Wilder was in the mood to talk before his training session. If not, he would have to skip. So Wilder's a weird dude, man. Like I get it, man. Like I can say listen. Listen. I'm gonna agree to disagree because I don't really be looking too much into what this nigga be talking about, bro. I'm looking at it as a fan standpoint. When he gets in the ring, he's gonna lose. Like he gonna go out on his shield. That's why I didn't like Charlo. Charlo literally sold me a dream. Like I was just, bro. Y'all think y'all was happy about it? I was disappointed. I was hurt.
Hey, bro, I wasn't happy. I paid for that shit. I wasn't happy.
I was going for Charlo, man. I was low-key going for Charlo.
You wanted something better
I was going for Charlo.
You feel me? If he would have I would respect that.
When I watch fights with casuals, because I was watching with casuals at a sports bar, I just root for a good fight, man. I mean, I have a guy I like to win, and low key it was Charlo that night. But at the end of the day, I want to look around and see people enjoy the sport, so maybe they'll want to watch the next one, man. But when I see something like that, that's what has. So with me, I root for a good fight, man. When it comes to that.
All right, guys, let me just quickly read out. This is King Bucho, so this is Bucho. Let me read a super chat.
Guys, Bucho's trying to say something.
Thank you. Okay, all right, thank you, Jimmy. LL, thank you for the super chat. He says Black Chibi. He says Black Chibi was the guy saying Lord Devin Haney. That's true. Wow. And by the way, Black Chibi, I wasn't happy about the fight because I paid for it and I was hoping that it was going to be exciting. So I wasn't happy.
We all expected more from Mel.
No, and that's how I felt too. Because he usually whoever was fighting that night, that was not the Jamel Charlo we always see.
Here's the thing.
I was rooting for Canelo, but I at least expected
for a reason,
Mel
man.
to put up a fight and not
the whole
stand in front of Canelo for
no. It's not. Listen, this is the thing. Hold on, I'm gonna break it down to you. It wasn't the size gap situation. You feel me? It was even a point where I was like saying it kind of worried me. Like usually at every interview, like post conference, he's talking shit. He ready to go. He's not even acting and saying he's showing too much respect. He showed too much respect to this man, and on top of that, he didn't want to become another meme. So we don't know if he could ever really beat him because he didn't even try to beat him. You feel me? So
he became a meme regardless because he didn't fucking do anything.
When he tasted the power in the second round, that's what it took a shot. He took a shot in the second round, and that was it for him.
From Lions Only? Do they need to give up the Lions Only title or what?
Yeah, it was trending. It was trending after the fight. Gazelles only.
Let me talk to Chibi. Let me talk to Black Chibi for 1 second, man. Okay, constructively, Chibi, if you were fucking Mel, right? I'm saying if someone approached you, you're gonna fight a dude like Tszyu, who you think in your mind has a little bit more skill set over you, and there's a chance that you could lose some shit with Tim. But then you get some other offer that's mad fucking ducats. You get $10 million, life-changing shit. All right? What are you going to go for? You're going to go for the fucking $10 million, right?
Wait. No matter how much... Wait. No matter how much of a fan that he lost, I still think he a bitch for what he did. I still don't think he ducked Tszyu. I think that he went for the money. Like, he went for... I thought he went to go chase greatness, but I guess he just went to go get the money.
No, we looking at that, dude.
Constructively, man. He knew that he was there to collect the goddamn. He knew he wasn't going to get it. So he went got the bag. That's what I'm saying, Chibi. And where it could have been more exciting if it turned into a fucking WrestleMania match and he tagged his brother fucking Maul, and then Maul could jump in the ring instead of him halfway through. That's what it would be. That's what it'd be.
I told you, Chibi. I told you.
Exciting, man.
Yeah, you got mad at me, Chibi, because I told you. Remember, I said, dude, this isn't a day to be great moment. It's a day to get paid. That's all this is, dude. Listen, you can be bigger, and he is bigger than him, structure-wise, height-wise. But he doesn't have that muscle memory because he's Charlo. Same thing with Spence, all right, Crawford. If Spence would have fought Crawford when he first entered welterweight, he would have done so much better. He allowed the kid to get acclimated to welterweight. That was the worst mistake he could have done. Charlo now is a fully developed, it would be hard for him to make 160 now because his body has grown into 168, and it's a world difference, man, getting punched. And like you said, yeah, man, he thought it'd be different. He thought he could take that shot, and he took a power punch in the second round. Same thing with Spence. You can see when that fight turned, when Crawford caught him with that quick right cross in the second round at the minute 47-second mark of the second round, and his eyes. I'll tell you, look going forward, any guys, and then when you see a fighter start blinking a lot, he's hurt. Because what happens when you get buzzed? Yeah, when you get buzzed, right? Boom. You feel gets fired. You see double, so you start blinking to get it out of you. You blink it away. You try to blink that double vision away.
Bucho, let me ask you guys this. Jimmy Bucho, let me ask you guys this. And the rest of the panel. You guys saw before the fight in the pre-press conferences that this motherfucker was not even anywhere near aggressive that a fighter should be. His ass was not lying. He was a pussycat in the pre-press conference.
No, not only that.
That's where you knew that this guy was gonna sell this shit out. That this guy was not there to fucking put it.
It was only that he would be like this. Called him out that he wanted to start all that. This is for the culture shit. It was only after Canelo called him out and said that he was being fake and that he heard him talking all that shit, and then now he's not saying anything.
But you guys agree that even before he got in the ring, he knew. He goes, "Fuck this noise. I'm not gonna. Why? Like why? You know,
that's he started in 2016 with calling out Canelo. That's how long ago he's been doing it. After his brother won a fight, he came in the ring, and his brother's being interviewed, he stuck his face into Jim Gray, and the microphone goes, "Where you at, Canelo?" And "Where you at, Cinnamon?" So he was the one always calling out. Then he called him fucking a bitch. After the Ryder fight, he said, "Damn, that bitch got nothing for me. That dude, I would fucking, you know." So he talked a lot of shit. He just dialed it back going into the fight. Some people just don't bother talking because
I'm talking about 180 turnaround, demoralized individual in the pre-press fight conferences, demoralized, being like, I can't deal with this motherfucker. You know, I can't.
It's easy to talk shit from the ringside, bro. It's easy to talk shit from the ringside. As soon as you're in there against them, bro, shit got quiet.
Yeah, but he wasn't saying shit, bro. I would want to see some like hands being thrown, fucking slap in the face by like fucking Plant. Come on, man. This is like fucking bullshit.
But also just like remember Wilder's build up to the third fight of Fury.
He was there for the money. We don't have to keep talking about this. We get it.
Yeah, but it's just like
it's really a non-point.
Certain dudes that are riding for.
It was just disappointing because I really thought Mel was gonna put up more of a fight. I knew Canelo was gonna win, but he really should have put up more of a fight.
No, a lot of people did. A lot of people were breaking the fight down, saying all these things that Charlo's going to do, and he's going to do this, and he's going to do that, and he's going to do this. I'm like, based off of what, dude? He's never fought Canelo. It's just at that weight, he's never carried that extra 20 pounds around. Then the biggest fucking thing in the room, nobody was talking about inactivity. 506 days from the last time he was in the ring. You don't go 506 days off and stepping against Canelo Alvarez. That's right there. That's all I needed. Take everything else out of it. Wait a minute. I just come out of a time capsule, and they said, "Oh yeah, see that dude there? He hasn't fought in 506 days, and he's fighting a dude 2 weight classes up." I don't even need to know what he did. I'd say he's going to lose.
It's kind of like that opening scene in Demolition Man when they bring him out of the ice.
You can't spend that long of like a layoff and then go to fight Canelo.
That's how Al Heyman got
So who y'all got boys?
In the 400 and some days, and Ruiz hasn't fought in 300 and some days. It's crazy.
So I'm asking, who y'all think gonna win?
And he's trying to get involved in the heavyweight division, like he's the
Demetrius Andrade and David Benavidez.
Benavidez.
Andrade is trash. Competition. Too much activity.
Andrade is garbage water.
Yeah, a slightly better resume. But he is a crafty fighter. I mean, those McKinnons.
But if Boo Boo has
those English fighters, those McKinnons, and
then it would be
the zone fighters. What do you think about? He's a sneaky fighter. But
he's sneaky, but he had no power, bro. He had no power. You need power, man.
The main thing I'm gonna look at that fight is how does Benavidez make weight? Because I think the more time goes by, the harder it is for him to be able to make it, bro.
Dude, he is a 175 pounder. Like outside of training camp, he's probably weighing around 200 pounds.
Yeah, but that's what
he has Memo in his corner, man. He has Memo
waiting for Canelo. By the time he gets to Canelo, he might be waiting for him.
But see, that's an excuse that they're throwing in. That's what they're doing. I feel like that's why they're gonna make the Benavidez fight the last fight, because they're gonna need that excuse that Benavidez was at the weight too long. Canelo waited too long to fight him. He basically weight trained.
I'd rather get
David
Benavidez
is a genetically he's a fat boy. He's a natural fat boy. No matter what, you always revert to being a chubby kid.
He's tall.
But he was a chunky kid. You can't run from that. You can work
that's
out,
what I'm saying, right? You can't. Like some of these guys, it's genetically inbound in them. If they're not training, they'll become chubby ass motherfuckers in like less than a month.
Yeah, that's like my brother. My brother always had
he was almost 300. He was almost 300 pounds when he was 13 years old. He was 285 pounds at 13.
That's fucking insane.
Hey, bro. Hey, man. He's gonna make the weight just fine. You know why? Because he got that drug treatment ready, motherfucker, on his team. He gonna make the weight. He gonna make the weight. He gonna make it.
I'm gonna put him
Memo
on
ready.
Weight too. He always has.
Just some more coke to get that weight down.
Yeah,
Already,
Coke and the fucking magic pill
In the
from
plan.
Memo, man. It's gonna.
Well, you guys know how, like I said about the Charlos, I say it all the time on the show. There's two kinds of guys. There's guys who are just great athletes who end up boxing, so they're athletic fighters, but they're not fighters. Benavidez, on the other hand, right, for all the negative things about not fighting anybody and a lot of choices he made, that kid's a fighter. Like he's one of the dudes. He'd be fighting for free.
Never. I saw a picture of Navarette and Crawford. They posted a picture and on Twitter. I was just joking. I said, "Man, these two guys look like the guys. They look like the two guys that fixed my roof. They don't look like fighters because you see them in their trunks. They just look like regular dudes."
Crawford's mother used to pay the neighborhood kids. Were like 16 years old when Crawford was fucking 11 or 12 years old. I'll pay anybody $20 who beats him up.
That just goes to show you.
By the way, his mother, no joke. I know people from Oklahoma. His mother was known as like one of the toughest women, one of the toughest broads in fucking Oklahoma. I mean, Nebraska. Sorry, Nebraska.
Omaha.
Where she lived, yeah.
Omaha,
yeah, exactly. Omaha. She was a tough lady. Like nobody fuck with her.
Yeah, I don't know. I always thought that was a bit weird. Like, I'll give y'all money if y'all could whoop my son's ass. I just thought that was weird.
Yeah,
it was not like go up and sucker punch him like in a fight. Like they would put gloves on.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? They would put boxing gloves on. She wasn't like go up and fucking go hit him in the back of the head. You know, but.
This is pretty hard because now even the hip hop community and the hip hop shows are really going in on them. I don't know if you saw some of those video clips of some of the talk shows from. They're going in on both these Charlos, man. They're saying how they just, they can't respect them anymore.
Well, they should.
They're getting it from they're getting it from the black community, so that's gotta hurt.
They're saying that Charlo called them out.
He destroyed his
video that fucking Cameron threw out. That was fucking gold, man. It was fucking
and now they're going after his brother too because his brother got slapped by Plant and he stood there and took it. You know, so they're
got slapped by Vanilla Ice.
The Charlos were coming up.
Buddy, he was walking around the ring with like security. Maul was walking around the ring with security, bro. He didn't want to get smacked up.
Yeah, they said this nigga Plant was out there solo dolo by himself.
Yeah,
man. Well, you guys
fucking walking around with security
2 years ago.
Oh man.
Like Jared,
that'll be but they could sell that. They could turn around and sell that fight. You know what I mean? If they make it, but we'll see.
Charlo don't want it, man. Charlo don't want it.
Yeah. Hey, Chief, how you doing?
I'm just mad that they were supposed to put the fight here close to me in San Antonio, a fight town. Instead, they send it over to Vegas on a holiday weekend where people go travel to go have Thanksgiving with their families. Like, don't travel to that bullshit. That was the dumbest fucking move. And they wonder why these guys aren't making money back for the PBC. They shouldn't be on pay-per-view.
They don't know how to do fucking business, bro. That's why they're thinking.
And they sent it to Vegas. I mean, everybody here was hyped. They're like, oh, shit, this is going to be a good card in San Antonio. Charlo's from Houston right down the street. A lot of them are going to travel for that. No, they put it in Vegas where people ain't going to travel because they're going to be having Thanksgiving. That's crazy.
Yeah, they don't know how to do business,
bro. That's what it is. It's the site fees. You can't compete with Vegas. Think about it. You get a hotel, say, you got a venue in San Antonio. Say we'll give you the venue at a discounted price of 75% of what we normally charge people. Where you have Vegas going, we'll give it to you for free. Plus $15 million. So people are like, okay, Vegas is where it's at.
But who has Thanksgiving in Vegas? That's the crazy part. It's just a weird.
People that live in Vegas, I guess.
Yeah, rich people.
Yeah, that's true.
Fucking narcissists.
Then it's the fucking whales.
Dumb motherfuckers.
When Canelo fights, the reason why he's always going to get the close decisions in Vegas because Vegas they're the ones who pick the judges. And I don't give a fuck. They know if it's close, give it to Canelo. Why? Because he's an economy unto himself. I say it all the time. Literally, he generates tens of millions of dollars for Vegas, the community, restaurants, hotels, car services, even prostitutes. Because the whales come in, the big gamblers, everybody when he's there. It's an event.
Yeah, baby. Haney Loma fight in Vegas. That'll explain a lot.
They rip you off because they charge you just for showing up to the door, and then they want to charge you again for the service, man. So fuck Vegas.
The
Give me a
horse?
straight up price.
Yeah, no kidding. Hotel fees and all kinds of shit. That's out of fucking control out there.
They do have hot whores, though.
But see, look, that's the people who have so much money, they don't know what the fuck to do with themselves.
Yo, boys, I just thought about something. The only way that Boo Boo fucking Andre wins is by points, and if he drags it out, makes it a boring ass fucking fight.
No, he's got to put a gun in his glove, bro. It's the only way he's gonna.
But what I'm saying is that, my God, if he actually wins on points, that his fucking secret lover from fucking Mirage, he'll I don't know what he's gonna do with that life-size fucking poster of fucking Benavidez. He's gonna stop having to jerk off to it. I don't know.
I don't trust Boo Boo because we've seen him stink out the joint before, and if he tastes that power, he's gonna stink out the joint. I mean, like with Charlo, we never seen him do it. That's why it was so shocking to see Charlo just kind of run for dear life because we never saw it from with Boo Boo. We've seen it, so that's why I don't trust the guy in this fight, man. So that's why I tell people, I was like,
can Andrade even go 12 rounds anymore?
Guys, I'm just crossing my fingers. I want to see Mirage fucking cry into a bucket of fucking. Hey, I don't know what.
Too, man. I don't know why he gets so emotionally fucking obsessed with another dude like that. Like, why, dude? Like, you can tell he's doing boxing, and I don't mean that as an insult. You can tell he just started following because
secret lover, man. That's what he is.
Because if you've been around, right, you know not to get that attached because they come and go, bro. They come and go.
Hey, anybody, has Legend been back to actually claim his call on how easy of a win it was going to be for Charlo because Canelo was overrated and hadn't fought anybody?
No, but he took some personal attacks at you like a piece of shit.
Oh, he took the attack. Legend took attacks at me. I never even talked to the guy. No, I think it did once.
Who's the guy that called in? Who's the guy that called in earlier? That was
that scary kid
named.
Yeah.
Oh, I apologize to Legend then. My bad. I didn't know who that was. My question.
It was Chibi. It was.
Should I drop a line in the chat real quick? Let Scary know I'm here so he can get his jollies off and make himself feel better again before his mom takes him off and sends him back to his room.
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Hang on.
Yo, what time is
Hey man, I don't think Boo Boo gonna win on points, bro. I don't think he gonna. My problem with Boo Boo, bro. He don't know how to pace himself, bro. He never did. Like, I feel like he starts off too fucking fast at times, man. Like in that Liam Smith fight, he started off fast, and Liam Smith kind of caught up in the end. I feel like that's gonna happen with the Benavidez fight. He's gonna box well, and then he's gonna tire out and gas. Benavidez gonna beat him up. I think that's what's gonna happen.
Yeah, no, bro. After round 5, it's gonna be game over for fucking Boo Boo, man. I mind you open for it, but you know what it is what it is, man.
Fight's nervous, that's why, and nothing sucks your energy worse than nerves. Sucks the life right out of you. And he fights nervous. He doesn't trust his chin all the way.
That's true, Jimmy. You're right. That's true. I agree with that.
If you say Benavidez' name 3 times, Mirage will appear.
Yeah, that's
man. Mirage is probably watching right now.
Probably.
You'll fucking float in on his fucking magic carpet, man, with fucking his life-size Benavidez poster behind him.
The nigga got Benavidez ain't no beads, bro.
Bro, no, he has a bronze casting.
He's obsessed with him.
Oh, I don't understand.
Weird.
He stopped coming to Ring IQ.
By the way, I want to thank Rider of the Storm. Hold on, just quickly. I want to thank Rider of the Storm for a super chat. He says, "Salute BDA and King Bucho. David Benavidez versus Boo Boo will let us know who provides the better drug, Snack or Ochoa." All right.
See Rare Breed's back.
What the fuck is going on in the background?
Morped.
Someone
bring on Morped.
150 is good.
Somebody's taking a shower.
What'd you say?
Instead of David Benavidez using a speed bag, he could use his girlie's fucking BBL. That's a pretty good fucking speed bag.
That shit look gross, bro.
So who you guys got?
Yeah, I don't trust his fake ass, man. I don't.
What's BBLs? What's that acronym for?
Usyk's gonna fuck up Fury.
Brazilian butt lift.
Who's it gonna be Fury?
Okay, Brazilian butt lifts. Okay, thank you.
Come on,
Pussy gonna shock the world, man.
Are you telling me that you don't see some chicks running around with fucking fake asses?
Tyson Fury is too fat and undisciplined to win, bro.
Hey, what's the next?
Tomorrow, Tszyu Mendoza, no?
Oh, yeah, that's tomorrow, bro. That's tomorrow, bro. Yeah.
What time is that shit
I think Tszyu gonna run through him, man. I think Tszyu gonna fuck him up.
Fact.
I think it's gonna be a pretty good fight.
That's at night, bro. That's at night. That's probably like 12.
What time is it gonna be in Australia? What time? What's
the thing is that Mendoza, he's never been stopped though, has he? I don't think he's ever been stopped before. Mendoza.
Is it gonna be in the evening over here in the U.S. or not?
Yeah, it has to be, guys.
Yeah, I'm not sure Tszyu gonna stop him either.
Well,
but I think he'll win.
Philippines.
Yeah, but hold up. On ESPN, there's Yanni Beck versus some Italian fucking
German guy, yeah.
Gutierrez or whatever it is.
Man, I'm more hyped about the Top Rank fight, man. There's free tickets out for this site that I go to, connected to Milford, man. But I'm thinking about going to it.
Well, you should.
I think Top Rank. I think that card is better, but I think the Tszyu fight is the better fight. Because I like Johnny Beck, bro, but I don't like his opposition. I like Johnny Beck, but I don't like his opposition.
Oh, Mendoza.
I think that champion's not that good, man. I think Johnny Beck's gonna fuck him up too, man. But we'll see.
No, Johnny Beck's gonna run through that fucker.
He's
fighting a puncher's chance, not a puncher's chance, but I expect them to put up a good effort. I'm riding with them. Mexican.
Is that a unification? The Yanni Beck Gutierrez?
Yeah. IBF, WBO.
Lit. It's gonna be a good.
Yeah,
one.
but Keyshawn Davis is gonna be on the undercard. They got the heavyweight Torres. The only thing is Torres.
I like Richard Torres, brother. I think it's funny.
Yeah, but the only thing he's fighting a guy from my town. He's fighting a guy from my town, and this guy's not good at all, bro. Like go to BoxRec and look at his record. It's all it's padded. Like I mean, look at all the opponents are in the negative. You know what I mean? Or debuts. And he got knocked out 4 times he got knocked out 4 times by those type guys. So that's why I was hyped up to see Torres. But then it's funny because I know the guy. I know who he is. I'm like, oh, that guy. I'm like, oh, this is bullshit.
He's kind of funny. He's like a Latin ravishing Rick Rude.
He knocked out once in the Olympics.
Yeah, but the guy Torres is fighting, man. I know who he is, man. He's not good at all, bro.
Yo, Pornstache Torres is fighting who?
Oh, you know the
I love
dude
Pornstache.
Torres.
His Pornstache is hardcore.
Yeah, I'm telling you, go to BoxRec and see his opponent's record, and you're gonna be like, oh god, this is a total mismatch. Yeah.
So everyone of it, like Torres is gonna fucking stomp on him.
I think it's gonna be like a first round knockout.
Libre and the ring card.
He's just gonna run through him, dude. The one round.
Yeah.
Hey, when is
funny.
When is Vaquero versus Conceição and Shakur versus?
And doesn't even have a full start.
I think that Shakur and Navarette fight will be so badass, bro.
That's pretty soon.
They setting up that fight right now. Yep, right when they put Navarette on the co-main, they setting that up. Hey man, Hey man, look, I think Shakur gonna beat him convincingly, bro. Honestly, bro. And I feel like once he does, bro. And once he does, everyone's gonna hate on him. And once he does, everyone's gonna hate on Shakur and shit. I think they're still gonna say he fought nobody. They're still gonna say he fought nobody after he watches Navarette. That's the reality, bro. That's the reality, bro.
He's gonna win. Vegas, Navarette is getting robbed.
It ain't gonna be no robbed. It ain't gonna be close.
And I can see it being a solid 7-5. But I know
that's what they said about Haney Lomachenko. That's what they said about Haney Lomachenko.
Look at it this way, guys. It's gonna be a good fucking fight, irrespective.
No, you gotta be a buzzsaw. You gotta be a
Lomachenko, that's
you gotta be a buzzsaw to get through.
Yeah, that was different. You knew
Floyd.
Devin Struggle was southpaws. That was different.
That's the difference.
Look at how Floyd fought. It was surprising to us that he had trouble versus Maidana because Maidana was just a buzzsaw, right? I think Shakur, Navarette doesn't have that style or that speed, so I think he is going to beat him pretty clearly. But I think the biggest threat to Shakur is the Golden Boys guy. What's his name? The guy who throws like 110. Yeah.
Hell no. Navarrette's got a better chance than Zepeda.
Hey,
you gotta look at the volume.
Zepeda's a bad motherfucker, bro.
No, you gotta look at the volume.
Navarrete was a harder fight than Zepeda. Because he's awkward.
They both got a lot of volume. They both have a lot of volume, though, man. They really do. Both of them have a lot of volume.
But volume is a little bit more basic, though. That's why it's
when you have volume, you have rhythm, and what Shakur fights with.
They also southpaw too, like
man. He throws like a million punches. Zepeda, man. You see him?
He does.
Yeah, he still fucked ton of punches in his last fight.
He got some speed too. He got some speed.
Yeah.
The difference between Maidana and Floyd.
And it might happen too because now that Golden Boy, check it out. It might happen because now that Golden Boy's stable is now kind of coming down to a skeleton crew. It's funny, Oscar kind of realizes that now. He's crawling back to Bob and saying, "Hey, let's work together." Of course, because his stable is all but gone. You know?
He's like crawling back. Yeah.
All I know is I want to see a pro grade knockout Haney, man. That's my.
Oh man, that'd be such a great day.
It's not gonna happen.
Haney's fighting out.
Haney's going to outbox him clearly. He's going to beat him clearly. Watch.
I think so, right.
But if there was any fight to stream,
hey, Regis can't fight that style, man. He can't fight that.
He can't, bro.
He really
can't.
He got exposed, man. Yeah, styles made fights, bro. Hey, look, Shakur going to dominate Navarrete. I'm telling you, man. Look. Navarrete's never fought that style, man. Every dude he's fought is come forward, stands right there. I've watched all his fucking fights, man. He won't beat Shakur, man. Trust me, man. He won't beat Shakur, bro.
Shakur gonna make it look easy.
Here's the thing. The length that Navarrete is going to bring, the awkward angles that he's coming from that Shakur thinks he can see until he gets in the ring, much like what happened with Floyd against Maidana. He thought he could roll with those right hands, and they kept hitting him on top of the head and threw his game off the first fight. The second fight, he clearly won. Back to Navarrete and Shakur. Shakur's not going to own him, but Shakur's clearly going to beat him. So he'll win a solid 7-5, maybe.
I think that's up in the air. I don't think that's
7-4. That's close.
Can you guys just let him finish?
We can't compare Maidana to Navarrete, though, man. Maidana's way more reckless. Way more reckless. Way more aggressive. Way more aggressive. Way more bigger. Way more stronger.
You guys have let him finish.
Well, we're also talking to 135, though. We're not talking about 147. We're talking 135. Navarrete's big and strong at 130 and 135. He may not have the power, but he's physically strong. He's long-limbed. He's a big guy. And so there's going to be someone who's close to mano a mano on size and frame to Shakur, and I'm not sure who has the reach. I'm going to lean towards Shakur. My point is,
it's not Navarrete. It's Navarrete.
Navarrete.
Okay, so there you go. And he's not afraid to take a punch. Gives one. So while Shakur is countering him, he's still going to, if he's not on his game and blocking right after he throws, which sometimes he does, he's still going to get caught with some beats. And this is going to be a challenging fight for him. Now, if he owns him straight out, I'll be the first one to admit it. But based off what Navarrete does, how he fights, the awkwardness that Shakur's not going to be able to get anyone to spar like him, he's not going to really get all the timing and everything down until he gets in the ring. This is going to cause Navarrete to win a few rounds and cause things to be awkward, even though I think 7-5.
He'll be competitive for like 4 or 5 rounds. He'll figure him out. It's going to wash him.
Well, yeah, but you using a statement washing is like
this nigga ain't listening, bro. He ain't listening.
One last thing. Rare breed. What you don't understand is you say 4 or 5 rounds. That's not a wash. That's 7-5, 8-4. That's not a wash. So there you go.
Well, it can be competitive, and you can still win those rounds.
Yeah, but a wash is 9-3.
And tough fight.
Doesn't have the power to hurt him.
Bro,
yo guys,
bro. They all say,
guys,
that was the case.
He don't need power. Shakur don't need power, man. He don't need power, man. All these guys don't need power.
let me ask you guys this: out of all of Shakur's previous opponents, has he ever been truly chin checked?
No, he has not.
That's how good his defense is.
Nope. Yeah.
Okay,
And
but
how
that
short
doesn't mean you
he
don't
is.
know how he can take a punch.
Yeah.
So what
the
I'm
only
saying is,
the only
what
real
I-
punch he kind of fought was maybe Valdez. That was it.
That's what I'm saying.
Okay, Chief and Rebri, let me ask you guys this: if fucking Vaquero, if Navarette fucking lands a clean fucking shot, what do you think Shakur may fucking feel a little bit of resistance in the context of
He's not gonna land one shot. He's gonna land plenty of shots. He's gonna put shots.
You crazy out your mind.
Yeah, like I don't understand what you're saying that Shakur is untouchable.
No, he's not untouchable.
That's what I'm saying, man.
He said plenty of shots. He'll land shots here and there, but plenty. Come on, bro.
Here and there.
It's not gonna happen.
What's not
Yeah,
gonna happen?
no one's saying.
What's not gonna
no one's
happen?
saying Shakur's untouchable, man. Just
Nobody
Navarrette's not
is.
gonna be the
Even
one to
Floyd
beat him.
got touched, but I'm saying
Navarrette's not gonna be the one to beat him, man.
What I'm
It's
saying,
not gonna
they're
be
not, bro. You're gonna need a special fighter to beat Shakur, and Navarrete ain't one of them.
I think you guys are going to be in line for a hard fight. I think, as you said, he's awkward and it's not going to be easy. And I think you guys think he's going to watch him. That's a little presumptuous.
Bro, if you know boxing, bro.
Oh, if you know boxing,
I'm just saying.
Hey, but we still want to see it, man. We still want to see it.
No,
it's still a
if you
great
know
fight.
boxing, if you know fucking boxing, Bob Arum always doing
let me
is
guess, you're a real fight fan, right?
building up. No, listen, all Bob Arum, because this is the reality. Bob Arum is building up these fucking Mexican champions and feeding them to Stevenson. That's what the fuck is happening. You know what I'm saying? But dudes don't keep it real and they just want to hate and shit. That's really what's going on here.
I don't know.
He built up Valdez. He already fed him. He already built up Valdez and fed him. Hey, look,
Valdez tried his very best to avoid that.
If he didn't build up Valdez, if Bob Arum was trying to build up Valdez, why didn't Lomachenko and Valdez fight? Why? You know why? Because they was trying to build him up. That's why, bro. That's why, bro. No, they're trying to build him up.
Same reason Tank didn't
Why would you? No, because Tank ducked him, man. Tank ducked him. But fucking Valdez, they was trying to build Valdez up.
Everybody at 135.
Everybody ducked fucking
I actually think Navarrete will give Shakur more trouble than guys like.
It's going to be his hardest fight. It's going to be his hardest fight.
Yeah, it's bro. Realistically, that's the one guy that might give Shakur some, but the rest of these guys,
No, you're not understanding because when Lomachenko was reigning, fucking Valdez was a fucking prospect. They was trying to build him up. Why would Bob Arum give up two of his assets and just feed him to one guy when he can use them over and over and over? That's what you guys don't understand, man. It's fucking business, bro. It's fucking business, bro. That's the reality, my nigga.
Fighting the Los Santos next. He's not fighting.
And he's gonna fuck him up too. He's gonna fuck him up.
Let's wait and see it. Los Santos is a badass, man.
Nah,
man, De Los Santos ain't that good, bro. Who he beat?
He might give him some trouble.
Nobody will ever beat him. In your eyes, bro.
El Rayo ain't shit.
Credit for that.
That's a fucking real fighter, man.
KSI's gonna beat Tommy Fury. KSI's gonna beat Tommy Fury. KSI's gonna beat Tommy Fury.
KSI is gonna beat Tommy Fury.
Who gives a fuck about the Furies, man? Fuck those
Furies.
Fuck to you, let everybody on.
Okay, so look.
All right. Tommy Fury.
Real quick, my last thoughts for the night, because I got to go real quick. Ray may be right that they'd take his special fighter to beat Shakur Stevenson, but that shows you where boxing's at if a special fighter today has to beat him when special fighters of yesterday would have either everything can handle or would have beaten him.
That's probably true, but we're dealing with today.
We can't talk about eras, man. It's like fighters these days, they're all bubble wrap, man.
Not all of them.
Yeah.
You can compare eras of lightweight.
There are some willing to fight. The best.
You can compare eras at lightweight. You may not be able to compare them at heavyweight. You can compare them at lightweight. You can compare them at welterweight. There's not drastic differences outside of the fact that some of these guys purposely balloon themselves out to the detriment to themselves. But aside from that, within the last 30 years, you can compare a welterweight to all the way back to the 70s because they were big welterweights. They were 5'11", 5'10". They had long reaches. They were athletes.
I already, you know what? I'm not gonna lie, man. When I went and got your Truly at the store, I ate 2 of those Indian, the ones that they make, the little pupusas. The one that guy said, remember the mimosas? They're bomb, dude. They're $2.50 each. I got 2 of them, man.
Butcher, thanks for having me on.
All right, my
Chief, take it easy, buddy.
Take care, Chief.
You don't know, I remember this buddy of mine who watched boxing where like we used to like there was fights, for instance, on just like not even the main card. Like there was this fight. I don't know if you guys remember him. He was insane. He was crazy. So I met him out in Atlantic City. Nobody cares, dude. But so Jorge Payaz from Mexico. From Culiacan, I don't know, from Mexicali. That dude was just, he was tough as fucking nails. That dude. You hit him and what's that?
He's a Jehovah's Witness now.
Oh no shit, man! Yeah, he was. I met him out in Atlantic City. He was at one of Mickey's fights. He was crazy as a motherfucker. He was doing backflips off the second balcony. He was nuts.
He went to a middle school to pick up his daughter or niece. I wasn't there, but they told me I went there. Was going there at the time, and he did a backflip for everybody on cowboy boots.
Yeah, his first professional fight was in a fucking circus.
He was a good body puncher. And circus clown. He was a circus clown. And,
he was a what he used to do is point to the referee. Like he'd point to the referee like he was complaining about the fighter he was fighting. Like he'd point to the ref like completely like so the guy's about 5 feet away, whatever, he'd come like a little closer, he would turn to the ref like with just his head and then point at the fighter. Like that time he fought Felix something Felix. His last name was Felix, another Mexican dude. This is probably 1992, 93 maybe. And that's how he beat him. He kept, because the kid would hit him low, so he would turn to the ref, say, the guy's hit me low. But while he was looking at the ref, he jumped in with a fucking right cross and dazed him. But he would do these bolo punches and shit. But he would say, too, to a translator, because he didn't speak English, I was talking to him, and he said he has to fight all the time, because he was the one who actually is the first person who really broke down fight calluses to me.
And he used to fight. He used to fight a lot in the circus. They would make him fight. And it was a big thing. He used to get in fights every day, and that's how you
tough as nails, man. Tough as nails, that kid. Always made exciting fights.
He came out the ring one time in a wedding dress.
Dude, he would have. He came in one night and he was throwing condoms. He threw like 500 condoms into the crowd. He had safe sex shaved in his head.
He was before Prince Nassim Hamed, man. He was the original, like that. Theatrics like that. He was in a class of
condoms. Yeah, he shaved in the back of his head. He used to wear mohawks with a long hair in the back, and he shaved. In the back of his head. Big, right across the whole back of his head. Used condoms.
Used condoms.
Used condoms. Because that was back in the 80s.
It was funny ass breakdance, like in the ring, like with his gloves. It was hella funny, like kind of like the Roger Rabbit. Like the Roger Rabbit.
He was a tough fucking featherweight. I think that was his best weight when he fought at 126.
Yeah, he got knocked out by the La Hoya. Yeah, he was
in 2 rounds.
Guy going up against the La Hoya.
Yeah, he was too small. Yeah, that was by then he was already won. But when he was at his fucking he was a tough. He was he reminded me of like that Mexican style, especially back in the 90s. It's when nobody wanted to fight Mexicans. It's like they were just tough. You knew you were in for a fucking brawl.
Yeah. His son also fights too, El Maromerito. He actually hurt Margarito, his son, but his son, I mean, he's not as good as his dad, but he fought Omar Chavez.
But he was telling us again through this. Actually, Arturo Gatti could speak a little Spanish. He was there that night too when he was breaking it all down. But he was saying like his wife liked it better when he didn't fight as much. Like because the calluses, he would get a lot of calluses on his face, punch calluses. It helped him absorb punches more. But he was one of the fighters who told me that he can't get into a fight until he gets cracked a few times. That's why in the beginning rounds he would always kind of put in a crab position, so he'd leave his upper head as a target because they'd want him to fucking hit him in the face because it got him in the mood. That's what I say in the back of my head. I'm like, that's why I'm not a fucking fighter. Pro.
That under suspicious. Did they ever resolve that case? Was it suicide? They were trying to say it was suicide, huh? That's what it's.
What's that? Yeah, no, his wife murdered him without a doubt.
Yeah.
They hired Boston undercover. Well, one of Boston's best detectives, an ex-FBI agent. He went down with a crack team and they reenacted it. And absolutely no way. They bought a bunch of purses, the exact same purse that he supposedly hung himself with. They used a dummy that weighed 30 pounds less than Arturo that night. And they would not even pull weight on it. At first they would like kind of drop it a foot, like did he jump off something? And it would instantly snap. So they said, okay, let's just try to they get it tied up, and then it would let it go, and it would snap within seconds.
There's like a documentary on it, huh?
Yeah, oh yeah. The original detective from Brazil, the original local police arrested her right away. He went and looked at the scene, looked at everything. A good fucking Brazilian town detective, Providence detective. Well, the city detective, homicide detective, arrested her, charged her with homicide. Her family knew this dude was corrupt as fuck. He worked for the provincial police. He went and took the because they have more power than the locals. He took the case over and said no, it wasn't a homicide. Retired 6 months after the fucking thing and had a lot of money. People say that he was paid. Then the cunt moved to fucking Montreal and opened up a boutique, a clothing boutique, not 4 miles away from Arturo Gatti's mother's house.
Yeah, Jim, I told you she was being harassed, huh? Like, people showed up at her store and were harassing her. Did I tell you that? Like,
yeah, I heard that. Yeah, you told me that already. She slapped her or something?
No, people were showing up at her store and harassing her.
Yeah, she had to shut it down, right? Didn't she shut it down?
Yeah. I don't know.
Yeah, they should. They should. She's a fucking murderer, dude. That whole thing was set up. Because she always bitched about him drinking, but that night she was the one seen going to the bar and grabbing him beers. So come on. You know what I mean? She was provoking him all night. So yeah, that was set up. She brought him down to Brazil and murdered his ass because he had told her 2 weeks earlier that he was planning on leaving her. It wasn't until that fucking week before she signed, they got rid of the prenup. And so, like, there was her access to money. She never gave a dime to Arturo's kids or daughter, who Arturo loved his daughter. So,
he had like CTE, Arturo Gatti. He had like a concussive. He had He had like a rage problem too. And all those words with Ward fucked him up.
Yeah, impulse control. Yeah, he really did have impulse control, man.
The ones that I mean, it's a real thing. Why wouldn't it be in boxing? That's what he has. That's what it did.
And boys, guys, I'm gonna end the show. It's been almost 2 hours, 20 minutes. All right.
Okay.
All right.
So who's fighting tomorrow? Tszyu against Bala Mendoza?
Tomorrow, Tszyu against the Dominican guy. What's his name again?
Brian Mendoza really got a shot. Yeah.
Yeah,
Brian
it's a good
Mendoza?
fight, man. It's a good test. I
Yeah,
mean,
he can punch too.
Yeah, if Tszyu gets this guy out of there.
Yeah, he knocked out Sebastian Figueroa.
Bala Mendoza bullet. There could be a lost bullet. Bala perdida.
Yeah.
Balas perdidas existen. You know, it could
Yeah,
be
but
like
let's
a
get real,
bullet.
man. Tszyu's gonna
Great bullet.
fucking do a dental work on him. Yeah, but let's get real, man. Tszyu's gonna do dental work on this motherfucker. So
Probably.
Yeah, man, but you gotta put up a.
You never know, but
Mexican.
Tszyu should win. We also have what's his name again?
Plus, his buddy didn't put up a guy that beat him. What's it? El Mono Ramos. So he could try to like if Bala has a good performance, he can eclipse his former rival as far as he could win stock if he puts up a good performance.
True.
The stock can raise.
Well, that's probably the most cachet that he can kind of get out of it.
Performance. You know what I'm saying? A lackluster for Mono Ramos.
Right. We also have, I'm looking here, Johnny Beck is fighting for 2 world titles. The IBF and the middleweight titles. So that's an interesting fight.
He should win that, I think.
We also have
fuck is that?
That'll be good.
What time is that main event on Bucho?
I don't see the time here. I just see ESPN Plus. That's the Johnny Beck fight. You have Keyshawn Davis as well. Richard Thomas.
I heard Johnny Beck is like a poor man's Triple G.
Yeah, yeah. He has 14 wins, 9 knockouts, no losses, no draws.
Taking Gutierrez for the upset.
Who?
Gutierrez.
Oh yeah.
Wow,
So?
really?
I don't even.
Yeah, you said that before. Yeah, that's got.
Yeah.
I remember that.
Because I watched the fight with versus. Who did he fucking fight, man? I just watched the fight of his. Esquiva Falcao Simon.
Yeah. I haven't even seen that fight. All right. Well, we'll see. He doesn't have a lot of power. He has 21 wins, 7 knockouts.
Yikes.
Who's that?
The
33% KO ratio.
German guy with Italian.
I noticed that about the guys from Germany. Boswell, a bunch of dudes from Germany. They don't got a lot of knockouts. That's weird.
That's terrible. Maybe that's why they loved Vladimir Klitschko so much. Well, actually, Vladimir Klitschko did have stoppages, but he was boring as hell. I don't know. Maybe they appreciate that type of. They just like boxing, even if it's not exciting. I don't know.
Yeah, I'm glad Warren got his ass knocked out, man. He was putting up a good fight, but I'm glad he got him out of there, man. He's a dirty fight. But that was pretty good knockout. Although he was doing good.
Guys, Richard Torres is also fighting in that ESPN undercard, and he's fighting in a 6-rounder. Is that even possible? Why 6 rounds?
Yeah.
Yes. Why?
They have him 4, 6, 8, 10. That's how they do it.
Yeah, but
because he's only. But I thought wasn't his last fight an 8-rounder or a 10-rounder? They don't usually go backwards. That's weird.
Exactly.
Well,
That's what I'm thinking.
You know what's actually kind of funny? Can I say this real quick? When Korobov, after Andy Lee knocked the shit out of him, and he lost, and Andy Lee became champ, when he finally came back like a year and a half, 2 years later, his first fight was supposed to be scheduled at for an 8-round fight at 164 at a catch weight, and that's when he ended up having to sub in and fight Jamal rather.
Yeah.
Yeah, if
By
he's
the way,
fighting a tomato can, it's not even going to matter. He's going to knock him out.
I know, but still, like, okay, so I'm looking. No, Jimmy, all of Richard Torres' fights so far have been 6-rounders. 6 fights in total. So.
Oh, okay, so he's only had 6 fights, huh? I like Torres. That kid comes to fight. I mean, he definitely he doesn't come in there not looking for the knockout.
I feel like he doesn't get enough attention. I don't know why he doesn't get enough attention. Like, they don't really.
Well, Jimmy probably loves him because he has that porn stash from probably one of your old uncles back in the day.
I like that kid Torres.
He needs to change his fucking nickname to Ravishing, so people, he can take the Rick Rude thing. He does the same damn pose.
Exactly. That's a great idea.
Rick Rude.
You should do that.
That mustache, if he becomes champion, it'll become iconic. You know what I mean? Yeah. I'd be out there like fucking mustache rides.
Magnum PI,
free
Tom
mustache rides.
Torres, Magnum PI, Tom Selleck.
Yep.
Yeah, right? That's funny.
Remember when Ravishing Rick Rude? Remember when Ravishing Rick Rude chased that girl with what's the name? The guy Regis and Kathy when she chased her around her show in the morning.
I remember. I remember this. This is the funniest shit. The one guy that he hated the most, he put the crotch of his. He put on his crotch. He put a picture of his wife's face when he wrestled him. I was just fucking nuts. I thought that was the funniest shit ever. Like,
Ravaging Rick Rude.
The wrestler. Who does that? He was a great athlete. The Ravaging Rick Rude. I used to like wrestling too. And they say he was a badass. Like, he could throw down Rick Rude.
I'll tell you right now, as far as wrestlers go, who I'll tell you is literally probably known as one of the toughest human beings ever. Street Fighter was a professional wrestler. Tonga, literally known worldwide as one of the toughest fucking men in history. He's actually the uncle of The Rock.
Islanders.
Yep, his name was Tonga. He fought as Tonga. At one time he bit a dude's nose off, sat back down to eat. The cop showed up. He's like, yeah, here it is over there on the floor.
The Powers of Pain, and also you got fucking Animal, Powers of Pain, and the Legion of Doom.
Yeah. Well, he was 6'2", 300 fucking pounds, and he could kick above his head. And he was quick as fuck. And he boxed. Yeah, Tonga. And they said Street Fighter, if he would have born 10 years later for like the beginning of MMA, he would have been one of the most devastating heavyweights in MMA history. Like people notorious, like he was known throughout the world as like he would fight 6 dudes at once and crush them at bar fights. Everybody impressed. Even Andre the Giant was afraid of him.
I gotta bounce, but thanks for joining the show. Right?
Okay.
Good to see you. Take care, guys.
Take it easy, Bucho.
See ya.
Later, Bucho.
All right, on YouTube, thank you for joining the show. We're gonna keep it kind of short, 2 hours and 29 minutes. We should have a show tomorrow. Tomorrow, Sunday, post-fight show. Maybe we'll have a countdown tomorrow. Depending on, we'll see. But definitely on Sunday we'll have the usual post-fight show. Where we will cover everything that happened on Saturday. All right, guys. Thank you for being on the show. Everybody who donated, and please hit the like button. That really helps the channel and the video. See ya.
Listos, pelos, chingazos. Listos, pelos, chingazos.
I'm going to bring the whole fucking diseased, corrupt temple down on your head.